Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese, episode 331. I'm your Joe Dix, joined by Mark Augustiniak.
What's up?
Matt Sellner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. Final episode of the year, 2019. In a post-Game of the Year world, we are gathered here today to talk about the video games we played in the last month. I don't know.
Probably.
Roughly.
Something like that.
Congratulations to Resident Evil 2, 2019 Game of the Year. And of course all the other nominees and winners and everything. Video games are great. Mm-hmm. And 2019 was pretty good.
For video games.
For video games.
Yeah. I mean,
It was pretty
It was
good.
fine.
it was a lot. A lot came out.
I think that when you look back at it, there was no clear. I feel like if we had recorded that a different day, we could have made the argument that something else ended up in that top spot. You know what I mean? Like, nothing was. I don't know. Resident Evil 2 deserves that spot. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, everything kind of had like a. Yeah, it's good, but. Right? You know what I mean? Like, they all had that kind of thing about them.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil 2.
No, yeah, it wasn't like a complete mind-blowing thing, but there were some good ones.
Yeah.
Probably more so not good ones, but
Anthem.
Decent. For Anthem. That's alright. Anthem will get its old Realm Reborn and everybody will be. I thought about it recently. I just wanted to.
You just say shit just to get me to roll my eyes. Is that
I wanted to see what the flying felt like. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to feel the flying.
it's not bad.
That's what I'm saying. I just wanted to do just so I could, and then that was it. I wasn't.
Yes, sir,
Gonna,
I did something, and I think the gods have struck down on me because I can't play
well,
it.
the intro music's fading out, so go ahead. Are we leaning into this now?
I mean, I'm just saying that I bought Battlefront 2,
Oh, God, dude.
but I can't play it.
Good.
PlayStation 4, it won't so first of all, the ready to play is 12 gigs, which is that's fine. But then it's 100 gigs in total to be completely done with the install.
How much money did you spend on this?
$12.49.
Did Remedy make this?
No,
Is there a live-action series that ties in with it?
well,
Technically.
you got the entire 9 episodes, not including the spin-off movies and all the comic books and all that stuff.
What's a Star Wars?
No, every time I go to download it, it gets to like the 77 gig point and it's like corrupt, can't do it anymore. And I've tried everything. I've tried deleting saved data, deleting the entire game, reinstalling it. Tried launching it to see if I just need to stay in the game to let it go. Still nothing. I've even turned off my PlayStation 4 completely and turned it back on. Nothing. I've even done the turn it off completely, unplug. Power for a few seconds, plug it back in, still nothing.
Have you done the reformat the hard drive?
Not the reformat the hard drive, but the one that gets rid of a lot of bullshit, like the refragmenting kind of thing. Did that, still nothing. And I'm not convinced it's my hard drive. I think it's just a bad file that I'm trying to get. Because I've re-downloaded games quite recently, right before that.
Yeah.
And had no problems. I re-downloaded Resident Evil 2.
Might be refund time.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna try one. I might try to use an external hard drive, seeing if that does the trick. But no, I can't play it.
Might have to call Mickey Mouse.
Nah, it's gonna be PlayStation. And then I know I'm not gonna get my money back, but they probably can at least get the PSN money back and
and spend it on a real game like Wattam, which
Wattam.
I've been playing a little bit of.
Wattam.
The new Ben Barris game of 2019. Wattam, brought to you by the mind of Keita Takahashi. You guys might remember this game because it was announced when the PlayStation 4 was announced, basically. But honestly, I'd rather see somebody take time with the game and get it to a point where it's what they want it to be than just rushed out. And this totally feels like a full, this feels like a fully realized kind of video game. Like it. There's
What
a
is
lot
a
of
Wattam? What do you do in a Wattam?
So the game Wattam I can vaguely describe to you. I don't know what a Wattam is, but the game starts off, you are given control of a little green cube, and he's got a hat on and a mustache. He's labeled as the mayor, And he's crying because the world used to be filled with things, and now there's nothing in the world. So he's all alone. And he turns around and he sees a rock off in the distance, and you walk over to the rock, and the rock wakes up and says hello, and now you're friends with the rock. Not Dwayne Johnson, but...
Fuck, goddamn, you had me first.
I know. And then you find another little smaller rock to be friends with, and then you're all sad, so you cry, and he takes off his hat, and his hat has a bomb underneath, and everybody blows up, and they go flying around, and they're laughing, and then they're crying because they fell back down, and they're not having fun anymore, and then an acorn comes out of the ground, and then they cry on the acorn, and the acorn becomes a tree, and then the tree can eat them and turn them into fruit, and you take the fruit, and then the mouth shows up, and then you eat the fruit with the mouth, and the mouth poops it out, and then you take the poop, and you put the poop into because the toilet comes, and you put the poop into the toilet, and the toilet turns into golden poop, and you stack the golden poop so it's taller than a bowling pin, so the bowling pin will let you go to the bowling alley.
Got it.
That's Wattam, basically. It's just, it's honestly, it feels like a toy box. It's like, in my little Game of the Year write-up thing, I wrote about equating it to like being in preschool again and just having like a series of toys, and they are whatever you want them to be. It feels very much like that, but as a 30-year-old man, I can still enjoy it, where I'm not going to sit down with a bunch of blocks. You know what I mean? Like, not going to happen. But
was there any kind of like deeper message with this? Like trying to be sent, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean, there's like the themes of like connectivity and coming together and building community, and I think the big thing I've taken away is like being able to find friends and family in anything is kind of the message. I think the broad message.
Yeah,
I think there's little individual messages you can get from different interactions within the game, but that seems to be the major idea of just like
because every time it's like a picture for this like anywhere, it's always like a circle of them holding hands.
Yeah, so when you're in control you can switch control with any of the things by moving the right stick onto one of them, and then left stick moves them around, and then circle or square control either of their arms, or not control, but like you hit circle and they'll just grab something. So there's like trophies too for like building a friend circle of so many people.
Oh, wow.
Right? Like connecting, holding hands, and spinning in a circle and stuff. And then there's another one for making the biggest kaboom with a bunch of people. And yeah.
It's just like the achievement for Army Trophy for like world's biggest seance. You're just all actually just summoning like some...
Yeah, it might get there. Like I don't know where it's going to go.
It just takes this complete 180.
But yeah, it's kind of that. It's just a big toy box, basically, is what Wattam is. You end up, it does that thing that kind of like the Nobi Nobi Boy or Katamari thing where like perspective starts to change a bit, and where and it almost has a bit of everything in it, but you're like controlling these little tiny things, and then you slowly zoom out and take control of the whole land that they're all standing on, and you know what I mean? Like it gets big, small, that kind of thing. But a lot of it is like, how does this thing interact with this thing, and what happens when I put these two things together? You know, the food in the mouth and the poop goes into the toilet, right? Like all of those things like have a very logical like flow, obviously, but there's other ones that are not as logical that still, when you start to mash them together and see what happens, it's a fun little. And I was giggling like a little fucking boy. Like Katie was sitting next to me, and I was just like, ha ha! You know, like you just feel like an idiot, but you're like laughing, and then it's just stupid.
That sounds charming. I mean, everything gets like that little face, right? Like
yeah, everything's got the
just little beady eyes.
Yeah, exactly. It's been fun. I figured for this episode, since it's the end of the year and we're like done, we just kind of run around. So there's Wattam. Boom. Who's next?
Another. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
But another fun, just relaxing Sam Bhakti game, Untitled Goose Game.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I have it downloaded. I didn't play it.
Oh man, I wish I would kind of got to this before our deliberations.
Really?
A little bit. I don't know if it would have won, but man, I would have had an argument for best gameplay.
So what? I know this one blew up, but just for someone who didn't like hear about Untitled Goose Game.
Untitled Goose Game is you run around as a goose. You get to honk, flap your wings, duck, grab things. You know, all the fun things a goose does.
As geese do.
Yeah.
You're just a big old jerk.
But yeah, you run around and pretty much you go in these areas and you get this little like to-do list on like a piece of paper, and you just kind of do. I think you got to do all but one of the things, and then you have to do one more task, and then you kind of move on to the next area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid in the best way. Like, you're just running around, and like you can interact with pretty much anything. You can like duck down and pick up like a can or something and drop it. And the to-do list, it's pretty straightforward. There's some things where you have to think a little bit, like you have to do like a little chain reaction to get the thing you need or whatever. But yeah, there's so much more to interact with, and I think the end game stuff. But there's like another like master to-do list after you complete, I guess I put that in quotes, you complete the game the first time, that has you messing around with some of the other stuff in the world. But then you just go around. Like, one of the things is like, hey, you get to this restaurant and you find a pint glass, and you gotta just drop the pint glass in a stream that's going like through like the restaurant or like next to the restaurant. It's like he's walking around just honking with this pint glass, running away from everyone, just dropping it as they're chasing you out.
Because you have a dedicated button for honking, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And like, I always loved it when I saw it in clips where like you pick up the harmonica. Yeah. And you honk. It just goes through the harmonica, like filtered through.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's good.
Yeah, and there's no, I guess like Wattam doesn't have like a game over state. The Goose Game doesn't really have a game over state. What's really cool is, say like, I use the restaurant level again, for example, like there's only like 4 or 5 pint glasses in the area, but you could break them all if like you like run into someone or they capture you and you drop it, they can break the glass. There's a little like button in the pause menu that lets you reset the world, like not the to-do list, but just like reset things to the way they were in case you kind of got some stuff out of out of really bad position or stuff like that. So like, even with that, you just kind of just hit that reset button if something fucks up. But I only had to do that once, and that was because I didn't realize I had a limited number of pint glasses, and I wasn't doing it right. But it's just stupid. Like, there's always that one thing of you always got to put things like in a certain area. So it's like, make a picnic. So you go into this dude's farm, just keep plucking all these things, and he keeps chasing you and trying to pick up the stuff from the picnic area and all.
That's good. I heard about the little kid in the toy store or whatever, or like a shelf.
The kids. There's like a yard sale going on. There's a kid kind of playing with all this stupid shit. Like, one of my favorite times was like, you have to take one of the things he plays with and put it into the yard sale to make him buy it back.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So like, it's full of just dumb little things. But I'm like sitting there playing this game, just cracking up, just laughing out loud on my TV. And I don't know, like the last time I just sat there just laughing.
Yeah, I think we need more games like that.
Can we talk about the story of it?
I mean, sure. I mean, if it's not really spoilers, there is like an end goal to the whole thing that you kind of realize at the end. But
what's the story of it?
So like, after you're like, because each individual, you're terrorizing each person like one by one, basically.
Yeah, there's like 4 sections to the game. You do the to-do list, and then like I said, you do the one more to-do list thing, and something in the world opens up like a gate or something to allow you to kind of move on.
Okay.
Yes, and then pretty much like the whole town is against you because they're like, we just had enough of your shit.
Yeah,
It starts like ringing this bell, and then like I think the objective is to like get the bell or something like that, and you bring it to like where you started.
I think there's like I guess spoilers for Untitled Goose Game if you really if you really care about the story. But yeah, you go through and like you get to this little like. It's like a miniatures town. It's like someone made like a model of the town you've been around, and you kind of go through it, and then you knock down this thing that has a little toy bell, and then your goal is to take that bell back through the game.
Oh, wow.
With all these people chasing you because you keep ringing the bell as you run. So you can navigate back to the very beginning of the game, and you drop it in this pit, and you find out you've done this like 18 times before because you just see this pile of bells.
That's
it's fucking hysterical.
That's pretty good.
Which kind of adds to the replayability of it too, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but like I said, like you do that, and then you can kind of go back through the game, and you can do the other to-do list things you missed, but you've gotten more pages, and some of them like now timed, like you have to do things before you hear like a bell or something in that world happens. So it's stupid. And then like once you start doing more of the to-do list things, like they start putting out these signs that like no geese. Like it's good. So dumb.
That it's on Game Pass now, and then
Game Pass on
out
PS4,
on PlayStation
and then,
now.
of course on Switch where it started from.
Sorry, I said it's on PlayStation Now, and it's not on PlayStation Now. It's on
PS4.
PlayStation, comma, now. Mark?
My games aren't as joyous as those.
Hit me with one.
All right, so I finally got around to playing Emily is away too.
You liked this one a lot, right?
No.
Oh, that was the AIM game, right?
Yeah, so like the first one that came around was more of like a prototype-ish version,
Yeah,
which
pretty
I
sure.
kind of enjoyed more in a way.
I don't think I can't remember if I played it or if I just watched the Greg Miller stream.
I mean, like
I did both.
both suffer kind of from like the same type of fault of like you kind of get like you always have 3 options to pick from to respond whenever you're in a conversation, and then you can type it out just for fun. You hit anything on a keyboard and it'll type it out for you. But like you're always in a way you're kind of saying like the same thing 3 different ways.
Yeah.
So there's not really much variety to some of the conversations. But now this time around, you can not because before it was only you can only try to get with Emily, and depending on your scenario, you could either not end up with her or you do, whatever. Depending on what you talk about. This time, you also have a friend named Evelyn, and you can choose to try to get with her if you wanted as well. And they do a good job of like trying to like balance that out. Because at first, Emily's in this relationship with what's his face? I think his name's Fred or something like that. And they're not really getting along. She's like avoiding him. So whenever she signs on to AIM, she sets her status to away. And then she talks to you. So, and at the same time, Evelyn is talking to you, but like it kind of makes you think that you're not really into Evelyn right away. I mean, you can be if you want, but that's just not what you're thinking about because the whole title of the game is just kind of subconsciously in your head.
Yeah.
But but Evelyn's all about like horror movies, punk rock, like going to Warped Tour. When I say punk rock, I just mean like emo.
Yeah,
Sounds like my girlfriend.
and she's really like she's really extroverted. She's really just like she wears her emotions on her sleeve and just enjoys talking to you and everything. And she likes to go to parties on weekends, and she'll just like drunk message you or whatever. And so you two just really get along.
So does it feel like genuine? Like, does it feel like this is?
So it's supposed to take place in 2006, and this is like it starts off with you being in like I think senior year of high school.
Okay.
Or
I guess AIM's still big back then, right?
it was like starting to fade out. It was
like beginning of high school, I guess, for me personally.
No, I think it's senior. It's either junior year or senior year you start out. But I graduated 2006. I didn't use AIM.
Yeah, I stopped using AIM by the time I got.
But
to
I
high
knew
school.
people who still used it who were in middle school and like early high school. So I guess it was still fresh for them. So I think just trying to capture like that audience, and I think they did a good job of that because these characters are very one dimensional. They're very shallow. They're just fucking kids. Like it's pretty much that. So with my playthrough, I didn't. It got to a point where like Evelyn was like kind of like showing interest of like, hey, you're like. This game is probably like maybe like 40 minutes, if that, or like an
the
hour.
first
It's a
one
short
was
game.
Yeah.
So like pretty much halfway through, she's all like, like she kind of starts to express how much like she likes you, but not like romantically. Just saying how good friends you were, but like but if we had the same interests, she definitely would have dated me. So I picked alternative rock over punk because I was just trying to go with that's what I listened to more. And then I picked action movies over horror because I wasn't into horror movies that much at that time. So I was still like getting used to it. So I was trying to be authentic with who I was around that year.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "No, if you only like these things, you would have been my type." I was like, "Oh, well, fuck you, Evelyn. Yeah, it's very shallow. I'm gonna talk to Emily." And then Emily's just using me as an escape, I guess, and that didn't feel too great. And then it was a whole weird thing. It was just messy. I didn't want anything to do with Emily and Fred. I didn't want to get involved with that. I didn't want to be like a homewrecker kind of thing.
Fred Durst, I know he ruins everything.
Yeah, every time we signed on my buddy list, you just hear yeah. No,
That's the mod we all need.
Yeah. So the years went by, and like Emily and I got into an argument. We stopped talking. She was drunk or whatever. Evelyn and I we actually became an item.
Oh.
She grew up a little bit and started whatever. And I was like, all right, you didn't like me at first, but all right. And then it's like they're in college or something. All of a sudden, Emily and Evelyn are friends for some reason. And like with Evelyn, I told her that because like we at that time were like, yeah, I think maybe in the future, like I could see me like having kids or having a family or something. So we had that same kind of like goal in mind because she brought it up. And then after you're done talking to her, Emily messages you and is like, blah, 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 I want to be my own person, blah, blah, blah. Like the exact opposite of Evelyn, basically. And she was like, I don't want kids or anything like that. And I'm like, yeah, no, like, that's cool. I don't, like, it made me agree with her.
And are you, like, writing out full sentences?
I mean, like, you pick an option, like 1, 2, 3, and it kind of gives you, like, a summed up version
of
what you're going to say. And then if you just, like, smack the keyboard a bit, it'll type out a full sentence.
Okay.
Sometimes it likes to fuck with you, and you're about to say what you really want to say, and then it deletes it and it says something else.
Oh.
First game did that, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was doing this, and it pretty much just made me agree that I said I didn't want to have kids either. And I was like, this is going to backfire me. This is some telltale shit. And it did. So now, yeah, they're in college, and they're like, oh, yeah, you know, me and Evelyn are friends. Like, we have the same class or whatever, and, like, we were talking. And I kind of, like, we were talking about you. Like, you brought your name up, and just things just didn't sound the same coming from each other. So I told her that, about the real you. I'm like, the real me? The fuck are you talking about? So I got into this whole argument with Evelyn, all because the whole talk of wanting kids versus not wanting kids. So now she thought I was lying to her. The whole relationship is built on a lie. All because of Emily saying something. And I was like, no, I was just saying that to Emily. And, like, you can say that, right? Like, you can, as an option. She was like, don't you see that you're being manipulative? I was like, that's not what I was trying to do. Like, blah, blah, blah. So this whole relationship was just destroyed because of that. So now I lost everybody in the whole thing. It's a great game. It really captured how shallow late teens, early 20s people can be.
Was this is like its own story, right? It's just that Emily's still a name that they use because of the name of the game. This wasn't a sequel to the first game. It's like
pseudo sequel, but not. It's like it's still the same game, it just takes place later. So it's like what the guy
is it that, well, maybe it's not the same characters. It just happens to be.
It's the same characters. The only thing that's different is the years.
Oh,
and the format, because like the first Emily's Away, it looked more like classic AIM. This one looks a little more like just the instant messenger, and it's like in the icons, and you can pick to choose from, kind of like go with that.
I thought the first one ended with them in college too.
I think it did, but that one was you could only interact with Emily.
All right.
This one now you can interact with Evelyn as a choice to end up with. I think that's like the biggest part, but I don't think they were both 2000. I could be wrong. That one caused to also be 2006.
I didn't know if it was just like, the first game was a prototype, but this is what they wanted fleshed out. I didn't know if it's the same characters or a sequel, to the decisions you made from the first one, that kind of stuff.
It's like I guess it's more of like a remix.
Okay.
But they are making a sequel or another remix
continuation.
But instead of AIM, it's through Facebook.
Got them.
And with this one, they gave you links to YouTube, but it's spelled differently, and everything is all like pixelated up version of like classic YouTube, but it plays the actual videos.
Oh, that's neat.
So they're like, oh, listen to this song. I really love this band, and they'll I'll be seeing like Snow Patrol on there.
So something. YouTube before Google bought it.
Yeah. So it was weird going back to see all that.
The developer was born the same year Matt was, so there it is.
Okay. There's your audience.
I just, like you were saying, you know what I mean, that it's...
And they had, like, slight hints of it going on Facebook. Like, I forgot what they called it. I think it was, like, Face Nook or something like that. And it's just, like, an old school Facebook layout and everything.
Face Nook? Fucking watch out for the Animal Crossing band over there.
This is all actually Tom Nook's doing. This explains a lot.
I got one I want to... all right.
I mean, I have another painful experience.
I got a bunch. Well, why don't I slip in a quick little hit here? A little two banger. You ready?
A little two banger. All right.
I've been chasing the indie dream here. I've been trying to get into a little bit of indie games. Reggie inspired me, and I just keep looking for stuff and trying to find stuff. I'm having some success, but I'm laying in bed last night, not satisfied with what I'm playing on Switch. Like, I'm going to grab my Vita. And I start poking around on Vita. Everything I have installed, I'm like, I end up on the Vita subreddit. And someone says, I'm just, like, scrolling through, like, reading people's posts about, like, whatever. And I get to the ones where it's like, hey, I need a game, recommend me some things. And there was someone who said, I'm looking for a good dungeon crawler. And all these responses were like, you should try this. You should try that. You should try all these different ones. And I'm, like, looking at some of them, like, that looks cool. And I kept seeing people say, you should try, I already forget. Hold on. It was like the Dungeon Explorers 2 or something dumb like that. Like it was just like the most generic
ass name. The sequel.
Dungeon Travelers 2 is what it's called. And I was like, Dungeon Traveler, huh? People keep talking about it. And then at one point somebody was like, I think I'm going to try Dungeon Travelers 2 because everyone keeps recommending it, but what do I need to know? And all these people were like, well, it's this, and it's a little fan servicey, so, like, just know that going into it. And I was like, man, well, I guess, like, it's a sequel, so maybe they pay homage to the first one. Fans like the first one, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody else was just like, oh, it's really good, it's a good first-person dungeon crawler, so that, and it's really fan servicey, so, if you're into that, like, whatever. And I'm like, whatever.
I think I know where this is going.
So I'm like, all right, do I want to just jump right in? I don't want to spend $10 on this and buy it. There's a demo. All right, cool. I'll grab the demo. Mind you, this is like 1 o'clock, pushing 2 in the morning.
Okay.
I'm already in bed. I think this is after I'd already fallen asleep on the couch and then went to bed.
Uh-huh.
So I'm laying in bed. The demo downloads, installs super quick. I fire it up, and I'm like playing through and also falling asleep as I'm playing. So I don't even know I couldn't, right now, if you asked me to walk you through the beat for beat beginning, I have no fucking idea. What I know is, somebody started talking to me a bunch, and I'm mashing through the text. You can't skip the text. That's what put me to sleep. I wake back up, and I'm walking forward through a dungeon a little bit, and I think at some point you kind of, like, fall, and you find someone who's on the ground. And the way they introduce characters, it's very visual novel style, where it's just, like, still image on the screen.
And from the a wipe from the right.
Either a wipe or a fade, like a crossfade. And I just, like, I'm, like, nodding off, and I come to, and there's just an anime girl completely bent over, underwear, skirt pulled up, and underwear sticking out, and full outlines of everything that's underneath. Like, did not leave much to the imagination. Like, for a second, and it was like skin-toned underwear, so I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, okay, there is underwear on. And I was like, all right, now I understand what fan service means. Got it.
I just found out in a couple days my Vita should arrive. I just
bought a Vita.
No, you should buy a Vita though. I'm saying. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I guess it's time for bed now. I don't know what I'm doing with it.
Yeah, it's time for bed.
But I did play a lot of Magic the Gathering in the last week. Oh my gosh, you guys got to get in on this. Katie bought me a pack of cards.
Pulling out an Artifact.
Well, get ready for Artifact with perfect free to play Magic the Gathering game.
I do should play that Magic game more.
You should, because they added a lot more cool shit to it. You can get so many cards for free. Katie bought me just a pack, because every time we go into Target, I'm always like, let's go grab some Magic cards. And she's like, fuck you, no one's going to play with you, don't buy them. So she bought them as like not a joke gift, but like hey, here you go. You always want them, so here's a pack. Well, opening the pack and getting cool cards made me excited to get cool cards in the game. But I'm not there yet where I'm just going to go blow a bunch of money, especially when the new set's like a couple weeks away. But they have all these codes, these promo codes, MTG 2020 and whatever the fuck, all these little things. Your boy got 21 boosters, plus all the ones I had earned in-game that I had left unopened. I just sat there and had a glorious time.
Why didn't you stream that shit? You would have gotten all these viewers.
I know
that,
you're right. Yeah.
A lot of exposure.
I didn't think about that. But it was great. I fired all that off. I made a new deck that was really fun to make. And I started playing Black-Red. It's weird. That's fucking cool. But, yeah, I don't know. It's still Magic. I don't have much more to say than what we talked about last time, but I just...
No, there's something... It's weird how, like, they figured out a way to, like, just opening booster packs of cards.
Oh,
it's like
so
something
good.
you just never want to end.
Yeah, no.
It's just an addiction.
Unless you look at it and half of them are green, and you're like, come on, man. I'm just playing green. But yeah, play that and the what do you call it? The mastery tree. Like I'm slowly filling that thing out. Like I just keep earning boosters by leveling up and whatever. And I still enjoy the daily challenges of like cast this many red or blue spells. So then I'm playing decks that I otherwise wouldn't play. Like because before I didn't really give a shit about any color but playing black. And then you have a thing. It's like, all right, well I guess I'll play red. And it's like, oh wait, red can be really fun. You know what I mean? You're like learning different builds and different things like that.
Yeah.
And again, like I feel super competent, even though I shouldn't, because I'm not good at the game. But I can be good at the game because it's all luck of the draw.
Sounds good.
Miss Artifact.
It's coming back. Don't you worry.
I'm just gonna jump into Gwent.
I can't do it on console anymore.
Let's play on my phone.
Matt, what do you got next?
I'm going to go through my painful experiences. So, to start it, I was appalled when I did the year in review for Nintendo Switch, and I realized how fucking little I actually played my Switch in the year 2019. I was alluded to that during our Game of the Year discussions when the Nintendo Switch category came up, and I had nothing to contribute.
Yeah.
And then...
what was the hour count?
15.
All right, that's not that bad.
15.
I saw a couple people whose were like 2.
All right, well...
Yeah.
So I booted it up. I had a bunch, or enough gold coins. I'm not going to say a bunch. I had enough gold coins where I was able to pull off a month of Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
Online for like $149. I was like, yeah, I can do that. That's fine. So did that, and I went back to some old classics, starting with Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I will say, one, that is a very weird game to open up, and when you go to your character selection screen and not see the entire roster available when, we play it over here with yours all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, don't have I got my 2 characters unlocked, so that's all I kind of care about, but, I will not be hosting any parties with my Smash anytime soon.
So, you didn't buy any of the DLC, right?
Nope.
And how far did you get in World of Light?
I got to that second map. I played a little bit of it. And then when I realized there was another third map, so I was like, yeah, fuck that. I'm out. I was already getting bored, and I'm out.
That was hard to get through, for sure.
Yeah, so, but no, I was like, you know what? I don't play this. No one in the house really plays it, so I'm going to fuck around online. I know I'm going to get my ass beat. It's fine. And then I got my ass beat, and I saw that $1 million GP score just drop down to like under 100,000 in like 4 matches, which is the worst demoralizing thing. I think that's happened to be in an online game in a while.
I think if you get low enough, though, it starts putting you with other people that are low.
I started finding like, more competitive matches where I just wasn't getting my ass beat in 30 seconds. It took about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
But I was going back and forth between Incineroar and Samus depending on my mood, and I was just like, as soon as I found myself doing like the same move, just to no avail, like just keep mashing the same thing and it not working.
Yeah.
I was like, it's probably time to switch characters. And I just got my ass beat a lot online. I was like, this reminds me of when I got my ass beat in Mario Tennis, so let's boot that up. So one went from getting mad at Smash to not getting so mad at Mario Tennis.
Okay.
Because you can't really find a match.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I found a couple early. And then my rank I guess I moved on from a bunch of like new players who were just getting the game or trying it for the first time to like the middle ranks. And I think that's where like there's no one playing in the middle ranks because you're either like extremely good or brand new. So I found myself waiting for a lot of matchmaking. I found games here and there, but it just, it was like Dota 2 like matchmaking times. Like, where you wait 4 minutes. Which,
that's not good.
when you wait 4 minutes for an hour-long game, it's not the end of the world. But when you wait in 4 minutes, and sometimes I consider myself not like a superstar in that game, but on the upper echelon of some players.
Yeah.
Some games last 4 minutes. So it's like, ugh.
Yeah, to wait. Yeah, no.
So that was a little disappointing, but
you think they're gonna do Mario Golf soon?
I hope. That'd be cool.
I'd like to see.
You think there's going to be a Greg Hastings Paintball 4?
Dude, I fucking... Where's 3?
It's like under a different name or something.
Just skip it. Just skip 3 to go 4.
All right, that's fine.
But no, it was nice. There's no bullshit to like unlock the characters. You just have them all. So that was kind of
it's
kind of cool to see. I was playing around with a couple of different characters I hadn't played yet. It's fine. It's still Mario Tennis.
No bullshit in the meta, like no...
I'm sure there is, but, with the people I was playing, like, I didn't...
Get to that point.
I was, my just overall skill in that game was just beating any meta.
Yeah,
So, that was just fun to play around and see other characters. I got to play with Dry Bones. I don't think Dry Bones was around.
That was one of those, like...
That was my boy in an old Mario Party game that I had. I was play as him.
Mario Party or Kart?
No, Mario Party.
Oh, shit. What?
Yeah. The Wii one.
Oh, yeah.
What was that, 8?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yep. So, those were my, demoralizing. Yeah, and then, playing the Switch has gotten me to play a game that I really, really liked when it came out, and that was probably the thing I spent most of my time with this year, a little Tetris 99.
Nice.
Real good. I'm just trying to get some tickets so that way I can buy some of those classic boards I missed out on those weekends.
Yeah, they added them in now where you can.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that Splatoon one.
What I like about all those is that you have.
Just the music stays, right?
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yeah, I want the Splatoon one and the Game Boy one. It took me a second because I did play Tetris Effects a little bit. Just cause, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm just playing like dabbling little quick fires.
Yeah.
Play a little Tetris Effects, and I was just like, I don't know, like I haven't played Tetris in a while, so I was struggling. But then I don't know, something about Tetris 99, like the speed at which you have to like process everything. It just something clicked inside of me, and I got right back to where I was.
It's smooth.
In Tetris playing. But yeah, no, I'm back with the Switch. My girlfriend has a Switch, so
it's helping to.
Yeah, that's kind of helping, and she does. With my sign-in, evidently she has access to some of my games, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's dope.
And then I think I am going to get her. I think we're just going to do the family Switch thing.
Yeah.
So that way we just have it. She doesn't have to worry about it.
It's been year to Switch. Like my niece and my cousin both got a Switch for Christmas, and
that's good.
She does. Yeah. She got that Switch Lite. I got it for her.
Yeah.
I got her that Switch Lite. That thing
doesn't it feel good?
Feels real good. I got to feel it at Target one day, but it was adhered to like the security, so I didn't get the proper weight. Or I don't even know if I could pick it up, to be honest. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But
yeah,
that feels good.
It makes me want to buy one, but I have no practical use for it.
Yeah, no.
Like,
this is cool because she got the Pokemon. I got her the Pokemon one, which was it like the purple and blue buttons or something,
reddish blue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, this feels nice, but then I got back to my fucking Splatoon neon Joy-Con. Yeah, it is where it's at. The customization, still, yeah. But yeah, man, Switch is still good. I keep every time I boot it up to play Tetris, I see Fire Emblem and Splatoon. I'm like, all right, we're the dawn of the Switch, you know.
It's coming. I think it just like I think this year in particular, all three of us have access to so much for the first time, and we're at the end of a generation where now there's just so much shit everywhere that it was hard dividing attention across so many different things. Like there was a lot of fucking games.
Yeah, like one balls out with Game Pass for a little bit.
Yeah, like I'm still not finding, but like I already played Dead Cells, but last night I just fired off Dead Cells because it's on Game Pass, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. I mean, just play this for a little bit.
Just throw out some more quick hits. Kept playing Reach. They got that 2 XP weekend. Dude, that climb. Dude, that is a crawl, even with 2 XP.
Really?
Ooh. I think you guys are still like every 2 or 3 matches you go. It's oh man, I can't imagine how long that takes without the 2x. XP.
I don't think we've had an episode since Mark has created the playlist of our lives.
No, I don't think so.
You want to fill the world in on?
So it was just a happy accident, I guess. Well, not so much accident.
Well, I think it started with the soundboard.
No, well, it started with that one match where it was like capture the flag, but we had to defend it, or like offense, defense thing, switch off.
Oh yeah, the one we dominated.
Yeah.
It was that Halo 3 map with
the one where there's a wall that you're not supposed to drive a ghost anywhere near.
So somebody had
until you open the gates for real,
right?
Which our game it didn't happen.
So so somebody had that perk to throw down like a hover plate or whatever, and then that was like a way to like get over the bridge or whatever with the ghost, and then I just started playing Goldfinger Superman with it, so I started doing tricks in the air and shooting everything. I can only imagine what it's like to hear it from a distance, just like a phone speaker blasting into him. Like
you were really good about it, where like we're on the other side of the fucking thing, on the other side of the whatever the gate, and we're like, what am I trying to say? We're defending,
focused.
Yeah, right, and playing the game and whatever, and then out of nowhere you just hear, and the fucking ghost goes flying over the fucking thing, and then you just fucking cut it. I don't know how you have it propped in your hand while you're playing.
It's on my thigh, and then like whenever it's like.
When it's dying, it has it ready to go.
Yeah, I just have it ready to go. So like if it is playing, right?
The commitment.
So like you just turn it on and just.
Yeah, because it was always like, oh, Mark's dead, because you'd hear the music cut out as if it's fucking synced with it.
And then kind of like a Mark in the background going, oh shit.
Yeah. Like, well, see on the left-hand side.
I think the one that got me the most was because, of course, in Halo, you can see your squad mates, the little initials or whatever you pick, either like zooming by. But then it's he got into a Banshee, and then we hear Creed hire.
That was Joe.
That was when I was in the because I'm in the Banshee, and because we were running around. It was the match we were doing was the one where it gives you a different weapon every time you respawn.
Yeah.
And I'm like running across the map, and I see the Banshee, and I was like, oh shit, I got something. And they're like, oh, what'd you get? A battle rifle? I'm like, nope, something better, something full on Mark style. And then Mark's looking around. I could see like you guys looking, and I was like, no, look up. And I'm flying across the sky, and then all of a sudden, just can you take? Stupid.
As Joe soared across the sky. Oh my god!
And then we win because
That's
I'm
right,
still in
I
the
forgot it was
fucking
you.
Banshee, just raining bullets down on motherfuckers. And then as soon as it comes up with the like game over thing, end of match, I just start flying straight up into the sky as like the chorus.
Never
God
reacted
damn.
so quickly in my life. See,
No, it was
I
good.
keep forgetting that they added. I mean, they kept the theater mode, right, with all this.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's in
I
there.
think so. Yeah.
It's in there because you have to go to the forge, and I think inside the forge you can see the theater stuff.
Yeah, I wonder how far it keeps all the stuff. Cause,
Oh, I think it keeps quite a few. I'm sure we can go back.
Cause I want to like recapture this moment, just like
Yeah, and cut it all together.
make it
There is-
cinematic.
Yeah.
There has been a good. I've been taking advantage of that capture button and the fact that it automatically just posts bullshit into the news feed. Like I did that a little bit of Untitled Goose Game, but then like even with Halo, like there was a point where we were dominating. I was playing by myself, and it was the one where you have to hold the ball, and as you hold it, you get points, and you want to get.
Oh yeah, those.
Like,
Is
you
it a
can
ball
kinda
or a skull?
I think it's a ball.
Yeah,
Oh.
it
Maybe in
changes. They
different
can-
games, but I was playing Reach, and I think even Reach is a ball.
ball, okay.
So we're all. It's that one weird map where it's like it's very small, but there's a bunch of levels and bridges, and it's very complicated to get up unless you have a jetpack. So we're like in the top level, just absolutely fucking dominating this match. Top level in the corner, and I have the ball. I'm just sitting there, and I got a teammate like looking at the ramp. I got two like overlooking like where all the bridges are in case someone is even attempting to fly up or anything like that. And so at one point, like they just kind of did like a team wipe, and everyone kind of looks at me, and I start fucking like teabagging, and then I got the whole team to teabag, and it was pretty awesome.
You have
We
that
were-
saved?
Yeah, it's in the
Alright,
newsfeed
good,
there.
good.
But we were up like 150 points, or it was some odd amount where there was no way they were going to come back, and we were absolutely dominated. So yeah, we all
my
just started
God.
fucking.
Love that.
But yeah, besides that grind of a climb to get all that shit, man, I have to say, as much as I do like Halo on PC, the Master Chief Collection as a whole, I play on Xbox because I like still having three. I usually do like or Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, and Reach. So I like having that mix of games. And the PC sadly does not have that quite yet. But when it gets there, it will be a good.
Yeah, I'm
package.
curious to see how that all.
Sometimes it's like jumping into classic Halo multiplayer.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
feels
like
like-
you know, it depends on the mood
Yeah.
I'm in. But yeah, typically I see is me running with 2 Anniversary, 3, and
it's good.
Reach. 'Cause
Mark?
4 sucks.
What's next on the list?
Okay, so there's a game I finished. Well, mostly. Well, because like I forgot the part that I stopped was DLC. So
Okay.
I technically finished the game, just not the DLC. Travis Strikes Again. No More Heroes.
Yeah,
It's
boy.
that Switch Boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's on PC as well.
It's on everything now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was shown at that was the one he showed at one of the directs, though, right?
It was the one they showed at the very first Switch unveiling. When they, the very first thing, Suda came out and was like, I'm making a game, and Travis is back, and it ended up being this.
I would say this is not the traditional one. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
get.
this
Okay,
is that
got it.
spin-off
Okay.
one, yeah.
Yeah. I had very low expectations going into it because it just didn't seem like one of those.
Seemed like a spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like from seeing like videos and whatnot, I was like, okay, it just looks kind of like a generic like third person like isometric-ish like action game, just kind of like a dungeon crawler or something like that.
Yeah.
Just go around whatever. So I thought it was gonna be pretty basic in like combat and whatever. Boy, was I wrong. This is when I also started doing research about Suda 51 a little more because like I kind of knew who he was, but I didn't know like fully what he was about.
Yeah.
And dude is like, I want to say he's like the punk rock of gaming. Like straight up like old school punk rock.
Yeah,
like,
he's my new hero after
Yeah.
like all of this.
Like his stories are just so over the top and wacky. He's very self-aware. Everything just has like a fuck you, I don't care attitude to it, but like done in like such a nice way.
Yeah, he feels like skateboarding. Like if you could personify, if you could personify skateboarding, it is Suda51.
Yeah, like I thought, like Let It Die had like that wackiness, but like that is in everything he does. Like that's just his style.
Yeah.
Would he string along Jeff Keighley like Hideo Kojima is, or do you think he would just do it or break it? Right?
Nah, he would tell you straight up front, like, hey, he would tell you right away if it's actually a date or not.
Yeah.
And then if he wants to keep it going, we'll keep it going. You know, if anything, he might get a blowjob in the bathroom. You don't know.
Fuck it.
Why not?
Well, he wouldn't give it. Jeff would, but
well, yeah.
That's how you say hi in some circles.
No. So you started playing this, and then I ended up buying it because it was on sale, and I didn't beat it yet, but it's just fucking really good. It's not good. Like, it's not great. It's
okay.
It's
So it has its trade-offs, right?
Yes.
So the combat is simplistic, but it's also a little complex because you have like your weak and strong attacks, but like his beam katana in other games, it uses his battery, so you have to charge it up every time. So if you're playing with Joy-Cons, you actually have to shake it as if you were jerking it. That's his go-to
or
thing.
just popping a soda can in Mario Party.
No, it was always meant to be.
Yeah, because the first game was on the Wii.
Yeah.
So to charge it, he wanted to be funny. Right. Or if you're playing like me, the whole time I'm playing handheld, you just you click in the left stick and then you move the right stick left and right, and that charges it up.
You hold in the left and you
it's weird. It kind of works, not well, but it
does
works
it work better on a Pro controller?
It does.
Joy-Con, okay.
Probably because I have shitty Joy-Cons as it is, so you can only imagine. But you have these chips that you get throughout the games. Okay, so back up a little bit.
Sorry.
Whole story is that Travis is trying to lay low after whatever happened in No More Heroes 2, I think. So he's chilling in this trailer, middle of the woods. But in the other game, a character named Bad Girl died. Her father found out about this. Bad man.
Because bad guy. Okay, got it.
and they actually use like a baseball bat as their weapon. And he was coming after Travis for revenge. Now, while this is happening, Travis is playing this system that's called the Death Drive Mark II. And the Death Drive was also featured in Let It Die, but it was like a way future version. So you can see where it's drawn some inspiration from. And while they're fighting, this Death Drive thing is like cursed or something, and it sucks them into this console. So they have to go through 6 games that are played via, I think it's called a death ball.
That sounds right.
They kind of look at these robotic eyes, basically. You insert it into the system, and you play each little game. So that is you. So you're playing it as Travis or Badman, or both if you're doing co-op, going through these games, playing these little made-up little indie-like games, and fighting the bosses in them.
All right, so you got the Jumanji movie
premise
with the No More Heroes universe.
Yeah.
Got it.
And with this, you find these little
chips.
Who
work better?
Yeah. You find these little chips throughout the game, and they give you these other special abilities, and you can have up to 4 at a time equipped. You can switch them around. They all do different things. So that adds a little more complex to the combat. And they all have their own cooldowns. So it's all different.
Yeah.
I think the ones I was using the most, I had one where you could just put up just this big, transparent, like, pixel wall that would just block enemies. And that the cooldown was so quick, I could have, like, 4 walls up at a time.
Yeah.
So that was my time to, like, if I need to charge the beam katana, put up the walls, try to charge up real quick.
Yeah.
You just get waves of enemies. It's
depending on the level, it's very
intense.
intense.
It's always like locked in a room, fight your way out to unlock and keep going.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much that. The games themselves, everything has lore to it, and usually you get it through your fax machine.
Mm-hmm.
You get these fake magazine scans that's like pseudo like Nintendo Power-ish, and it like breaks down what the game is about. It shows you a character, shows like little screenshots.
So in those, to tie it back to Let It Die, you know the one character's from Let It Die?
No.
So the little like dude with the afro and the big glasses,
yeah,
who's always judging everything. He's the one when you go into the arcade and Let It Die, who's sitting there playing a game, and when you talk to him, he's like, "Oh, you need a tip," and he gives you gameplay tips for how to. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. And with this, so with these fake little articles that he's writing, and it's all stylish and neat looking. You always get 2 screenshots, well 3, but you get 2 main screenshots in the magazine scan. And there's a little cheat input under each one. If you go to this area in the game, you could do this little cheat input, and you'll get like full health again or something. Mm-hmm. That actually works. I would snapshot with the Switch, so I'd go back and be like, that's where I go. Okay, and it's always the same cheat input. And then they give you like a fake one at the very bottom where it's like, because like the Death Drive Mark II has like this like these weird attachments. Like it has like an add-on attachment to like put soup in. And it'll like warm it up. You're like, yeah, stand at this spot and like heat up this specific like flavor of ramen for like have it in there for like 8 hours, and and like something crazy will happen. Or it's like, obviously it's bullshit. You can't do that. But I like that they would do that.
Well, that stuff bled back into the real world for me. Talk about getting weird meta shit, because you eat so much ramen in the game that I was like, oh, fuck, man, I want to make ramen. Yeah. So I fucking went out and I bought everything to make ramen. I made ramen last weekend 2 nights in a row.
Oh, you made like legit ramen.
Oh, yeah. I made like ramen-ass ramen based on shit in the game.
The 3-minute.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
No. I like made whatever. And then
you're committed. I like that. I would have just been like, all right. Fucking top ramen.
Oh no, I went.
That's me. Yeah.
No, I made it was fucking turned out really good too. But I did that, and then in the game, if you go back and you read, if you go on the computer in the trailer, you can read Travis's reviews of the ramen. Did you do?
Oh, are they his reviews?
I think
so. Yeah, because like what you do throughout the games, you find these ramen stands in the game, and like all the enemies are bugs. So that's what you're fighting to fix these games or whatever. And there's
it makes okay.
Yeah. So like, and they all just look like weird, like glitchy, like human-like figures with like skull faces, and
from
all different
Daft
colors.
Punk music videos.
Yeah, and like so, there's one that runs a ramen joint, like a little stand, and you can replenish your health and everything. And you find they're all different types of recipes or whatever. And whenever you do those, you come back and you go on your old ass like Macintosh computer.
Yeah, and it's full on like old school Mac OS. Like back in the old,
it's like a black and white browser pops up
before 10, right?
Oh yeah, way before OS 10. Yeah, like before OS 9, like back in the
you
old.
Boot it up, it's just
like,
There's all these whichever ones you've had. There's like little blurbs about each type of ramen.
Yeah,
and then you can choose to give like a thumbs up if you want.
And there were a couple of them where like they were like negative scores because it wasn't served with beer, and it was like good ramen's always served with beer. So I like made sure I grabbed good beer. I don't drink, but I grabbed beer so we could have beer with the ramen.
Which is funny because I think Stuart actually said something like that.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing about the game is you get all these little like just things you can hear Suda saying, like the guy, the Bug Extra, the grandpa.
Yeah.
So he's got all these like little. You find him in random levels, and he gives you these random words of wisdom. And the one I remembered was he said, "Japanese people eat cake on Christmas Day. Isn't that weird? Why do they eat cake? Shouldn't they have something more traditional? I think people should have mitarashi dango on Christmas Day." So then here I am looking up recipes for it. I haven't done it yet, but I'm about to drive like 30 minutes to go to a Japanese grocery store because you need 2 types of flour to make this stuff. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, like some of them are like,
but
good.
It looks good, and I was like, I want to do this.
Some of the wisdom is just wacky and just whatever.
But some of it was like spot on. Like when he talks all about like not eating at chain restaurants because
it's all poison. You don't know what to put in it.
And it was like, fuck yeah, dude.
It's just saying like support like local stuff.
I love that. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, support your local Taco Bell.
Oh. and so Joe and I were like swapping like interviews back and forth with Suda.
Oh yeah,
during the week, just watching whatever. And there was one where he said No More Heroes was basically formed out of all of his ideas. He just wanted to just shit out at once, as if you're just taking a shit. It all just comes out at once. This is all of his thoughts, and I think that kind of ties in with this game. The way you save, you go into Porta-Johns, and he's taking a shit.
Take a shit,
and that's you saving. So like the saving bar is over his crotch, so you can't see anything.
Yeah.
Oh, not a. I can't even get it out.
Not riding with Norman Reedus.
Ride.
Yeah. I said Norman Reedus.
Teenage dirtbag. I get it. Yeah.
So you have to bathroom sit down to save the game.
Bathroom sit down to save the game.
Yeah.
Yep. And even in the trailer, you can think shit in there too.
And there's a lot in the game, and I think like it's.
So there is an actual story with, with doing all this, just getting stuck. I mean, along with like Batman like wanting revenge, it kind of stops there with the revenge thing. It gets on pause. There's like a truce. Yeah. I didn't do his story with like the background stuff.
Yeah.
But like you can choose to keep going on like on their appropriate vehicles. Travis has a motorcycle. Batman has like this muscle car, and every time you interact with it, it brings up like this old like DOS, like green text like
of that adventure, like
text adventure looking.
It feels like the fucking Metal Gear.
Oh yeah, the codec chats.
Codec, like they're on either side, and there's just text at the bottom. It's very much that kind of.
And like that fills in the story of like you getting each death ball for the next thing, and you could tell it's setting up enemies and story for No More Heroes 3. A lot of this is setting up No More Heroes 3.
Yeah,
and so like that's cool to get that lore. You have this little fat cat named Jean that talks, and between every level, she will fax you saying that she got lost and you need to go get her, and she helps you with those stories. You're also getting faxed by this guy who actually is one of the main like developers. Him and I think his wife are the developers of these games, and the system is trying to tell you stop finishing these. We put bugs in them for a reason, because if you clear all these out and fix them, you're actually going to end the world. Because like you're going to wake up some type of computer system that is able to be like make clones that are more deadly than like humans or something like that. Kind of
AI that's gonna be a supercomputer, and you're gonna have to plot the Terminator.
Right, and you see the story keep evolving.
But I think that's what I like about it so much, is that it's like unapologetically like just on its face, right? Like it's just like this is why it's happening, and you're like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, like it makes no fuck, but yeah, it makes sense. I get it. Yeah. I find like. Yeah, the gameplay is like you just kind of button mash. It's whatever, but there's something special about it in a weird way that I don't know. I really enjoy it.
Like the level designs aren't the greatest.
You're running from left to right with a different backdrop. It's very simple.
Just like the styles of it all. Like it's just kind of it's like very generic looking.
Yeah,
and it's like fine, whatever. Like that was my like low expectation part of it, like coming in, and then they do like one level specifically. You didn't get to it yet.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about though.
But I guess if I'm like to like spoil it, whatever, it makes it more actually. It was more interesting to maybe kind of want to jump in a little more. Mm-hmm. They included one of Suda's past games. They worked with EA. Shadows of the Damned is a whole thing in this. It's like technically like a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get the death ball, it's called like I forget what it's called, like 8 Heart or something like that, or like something Moonlight or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it just turns into like Moonlight of the Damned or something. I forget what it's called, like Damned Souls or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's this whole tongue-in-cheek thing about it. And there's a whole interview, you can look it up, but like Suda didn't have the greatest terms with EA when it came to making that game and just in general.
Because they made him go through 6 passes of the script before like approving whatever, and it was just
he had to redesign a character every time. I mean, he rewrote the
script.
scripts.
and just it was a lot of like back and forth with development, and a lot of like him wanting to make the games that he makes, them saying, well, we have the money and you're going to do it however we... You know what I mean? It was just like not a great collaboration.
But I don't know if you're going to continue.
No, yeah.
The game?
Sure.
All right, so I won't...
But I kind of know. But yeah.
Well, yeah. So, like... But story-wise with Travis, I won't say other things.
Yeah.
Because it's just funny. Just want you to experience it. But yeah, this whole big love for indie stuff, you get all these shirts. They do nothing.
No, but they're fucking cool, man.
So I think when this game first came out, it was a little iffy, and there was supposed to be a day one patch, and Suda just didn't deliver that day one, so he felt very bad about that. So his way of apologizing, I think it came like maybe less than a week.
Yeah.
Or if not that, it was still wasn't that long of a time. So as an apology, you could get all the shirts from the start. You don't have to get all because you collect coins throughout the game. You use the coins to get that, whatever. I did that not realizing that was the situation. I was like, why is this free to get everything? Like, is this a joke? Is this a trick? And I did it. I was like, all right, I got all the shirts.
Yeah.
I have all these different indie games from all these years up to now.
And it's not like the stuff you might think right away. It's like everything from your Hotline Miami's in there.
Yeah, you have Ape Out, you have Downwell, you have
there was
Ape Out's fairly like current too.
there were a couple games that like came out this year. It was like, oh shit, World Next Door, was that one of I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of
it's just a whole, and they included Legend of Zelda shirts.
What? Where? You have to unlock them?
I guess, yeah.
Fucker.
But yeah, you have you have Zelda 2 art, like
what the fuck?
Where Link's like hand drawn, like walking towards you from like the castle in the background. Oh, that's so cool. That's one. You have 2 different Majora's Mask. Sorry, Majoni's Mask.
Majoni's Mask
shirts. You have a Wind Waker HD shirt.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like there's a couple.
We broke Matt.
I totally forgot about it, and I do listen to some of to parts of these episodes back just to see audio and if I'm rambling on. Yeah, it's a little feedback for myself. But then I was listening to Deliberation where we said Majoni's Mask, and I fucking lost it in the car too in the middle of the highway.
What day was that?
But Friday?
Oh, it was the final. Oh wow. Oh yeah,
because it was mostly anticipated.
Oh, Thursday.
But I think I listened to it Friday.
But it was day 4's stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, when you're like, you know what, fucking Legend of Zelda 2 or Majoni's Mask.
Oh boy, yeah, you can listen to all that now.
The Unreal Engine shirts because he really loves Unreal Engine. There's a whole thing about that.
Yeah,
it's just a lot.
There's a lot there, and it's cool how much is packed in and hidden there. And it's like if you just play the game, you can just play the game. But if you start scratching away and see what's underneath, like there's a lot of stuff hidden underneath.
It's like an onion.
All I'll say is like, what was that weird phone game where you had like a hotel and it was all weird, like it's like very Japanese. Like phone game, and everything was like asparagus with a face on it.
Yes,
there's a shirt for that.
Oh wow!
In that game,
is it Tokyo Million Hotel or something like that?
Something like that.
I know the one you're talking about.
It's just strange. But yeah, it's a fun game. Don't be afraid to skip the credits.
Ah, interesting.
You won't miss anything. It'll take you right to whatever you wanted to see because the credits are kind of long.
I like that.
Do you see them twice?
No,
they're not that long. Would you kindly take us to a break?
Hey, why don't we take a quick break and we'll be right back. We'll talk about more video games from the last little while. Be right back. Welcome back from the break. All right, so Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes is where we left off. Before the break, I was inspired to return to Let It Die and played some of that game. I jumped into it on PC because it's been out on PC for about a year, and the first bit when it came out, I don't know, it didn't run super great, like it needed whatever, but it's been a year and it feels fucking great. Looks really good too. That game, if you don't remember Let It Die, it is basically like a Bloodborne style action game that is more roguelike than Bloodborne. Like you're going across, there's different floors of the tower, and you're climbing the tower to the top. Every 10 floors is a boss, and along the way you're getting blueprints for clothing and armor and weapons. But yeah, it's that kind of thing. And I played a chunk of it, not done with it by any means, but it kind of pushed me to try something new that was on sale that I bought, and I really fucking like Code Vein, which is, to be reductive, it is anime vampires Bloodborne, but it's a little bit more than that, and also just basically that anyway. But it's Code Vein, Bandai Namco developed anime vampire game where you're basically playing through like a Bloodborne thing. but it's got it's got all the things you want out of a Bloodborne style, Dark Souls style game, right?
It's like, don't they own Dark Souls?
Yeah, they do, right?
Yeah.
But it's got all of those things in it where it's like, kill a bunch of things, move around a map, and then, I found a door that now makes the map a little bit easier to get. Like, it's got all of those things built right into it. And it took about an hour or two to really get the hook of it. But once you start to get the hook, you know what I mean?
It took me about that long just to make a character.
Oh, dude, yeah. The character creator is incredibly robust.
I
and
did see that.
Cool, dude. My first one was just full witch. She had like a cool, because they had added Halloween stuff and subsequently Christmas stuff into the game. So I have a witch hat with jack-o'-lantern earrings and look real cool, painted my face with like real dark around the eyes, look like Edward Scissorhands kind of thing. And then after I'm maybe about, I'd say I'm close to halfway through the game. I then changed it so that maybe I'm less than halfway, but either way. Now I have deer antlers because they have like a Rudolph thing, but I painted them black so they look fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's neat. So you have the main hook here is you have a blood code, and that's the like kind of type of it's like your character build, right? So in a Bloodborne and any of those, you would kind of from the start figure out like, all right, am I going to be more arcane focused? Am I going to be more
like
this
architecture?
Focused? Yeah. This you change whenever you want. Not literally, you kind of could do it in the middle of a combo if you really wanted to, or like in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
But there's no pause state, so you would be taking damage. But you technically could switch to a different spot and change over. I think. I haven't actually tried in combat to do it, but on the fly you can change between different ones, and they all have different things. So maybe you want to be more ranged. Maybe you want to be more melee focused. Maybe you want to be a spellcaster. Like, there's that, and you keep unlocking more and more as you go through the game, and they're all tied to specific people. So you kind of like... You find like this little blood crystal and you pick it up and it like just like a pufferfish just kind of like explodes out and pierces your hands, and then you're thrown back into the you're not in the moment, but there's a cutscene where you're thrown back into the memory of this person. But later on, it's all like an opt-in kind of thing where you kind of cash in these pieces of the blood code or whatever until you acquire the blood code. It's a whole whatever. But you unlock it and you can then swap between the different ones, and they each come with their own different like powers that you assign to your like hold trigger, press square, triangle, those types of things. So it almost feels almost like an MMO in that way, where you're like mapping so many different abilities to your character. But then you do have your light attack, heavy attack. You get your parry, and it's very much that, but it still has its own DNA, which I like. The story's kind of dumb mostly, right? It's like just I don't even know what the fuck it is. Blood is in the world, and we all need blood or something. I don't know.
I think like everybody's like poisoned or something like that, and you have to try to like purify it.
Yeah, and the world is poisoned. Like there's a vein that runs through the earth, and the earth is slowly being infected. So you need to tap into that and try and purify the blood, that kind of thing.
Yeah, your everyday occurrence.
But it's just fun to play and be in another one of those. I don't think anything for a real long time is going to best Bloodborne in that way, right? And it's to compare it to Bloodborne is doing it a disservice, but just having that, I'm getting those similar feelings again, so it's hard not to bring up Bloodborne in that regard. But it's like, I don't know, like there's this one, I forget what they call it, what the area was, but it's like this foggy ass swamp area that you have to walk through, and like there's bottomless pits you can accidentally walk into. There's like these like monsters hiding in the depths of the swamp that just, if you're not paying close attention, they come out at you. Like it's all the stuff where you feel a sense of like horror and dread walking through, and sneaking is effective. Like it's cool.
Hey, I've only played the demo, but I didn't get too far in it. But I like the little special attack you can do to like regain health or whatever. You just like form these claws out of your hand. You like rip through their like chest basically,
and that changes based on your position, I think. So sometimes it's like a fucking metal tail that comes out of you and pierces someone's heart and then pulls blood back.
Oh wow,
it's fucking cool.
I think I like the gun blade, whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That is. I think it's my favorite weapon.
Yeah,
it's just a rifle with like a big ass like knife on the end or whatever.
Because I did the demo too, and I didn't love what I played. Like it just didn't feel right.
That's what I remember of you.
Yeah.
Were saying.
But then I don't know why, but it was on sale this week, and I was just reading people talk about it, and they're like, "This is my favorite game of the year." And I'm like, "Really? For someone to say
I mean, you said you played a demo and it took you about an hour or two to get its hooks in you. I mean, that makes sense why.
Right. So. And now that I get it, I'm like, oh man, I'm in this area now that is like complete contrast to everything I've played so far in it, where everything is white. Like it's like this like castle maze. Like everything is like very Victorian looking, and like you're walking downstairs and whatever.
Well, that's up your alley.
It's weird. It reminds me of like
vampire in a castle maze.
Yeah, but it's all outdoors. Like you're on these like balconies, and like any wrong step, you just fall to your death.
Yeah, the outskirts of the castle as well.
It's cool though. I don't know. I dig this game a lot. You can change your appearance on the fly if you want. Not like you have to do it back at your home base, but you're not locked into certain things.
That's cool.
Certain things like you can't swap gender after the fact. You can't change like physical bits about you, but you can change any of your style things as much as you want.
You said that first hour, is it because they were easing you into mechanics, or is it just you were just trying to wrap your head around what was going on?
I think a little bit of both. Like, you don't really quite get the way combat. It's just at first you're just like, okay, let me just swing.
Because sometimes that's refreshing, right? After playing like the demo to the Blasphemous earlier this year, even Bloodborne does it, where it drops you in. And you're like, there's a couple of hints on the ground, and good fucking luck,
Yeah, it's kind of that. Like the tutorial you have at the beginning is like they put you in that little square, and you fight a couple enemies, and then it's like, okay, go, and you go, and that's kind of it. And you just kind of have to like get used to what it wants you to do. I think is where I feel about it, but. Now I've got like a good rhythm of like knowing when to dodge, when to hit, when to whatever. The part I'm in now, there's I don't know what triggers this, but there's like these like extra tough waves that can happen. It'll like pop up on your screen and say like, it doesn't say blood party, but I don't remember what it is. So I'm gonna call it a blood party, and it's just like blood party's here, and then like the streams go no, but it's like it's like all these super tough enemies just come charging at you like all at once. And you always have a companion with you, which is kind of cool, and you can swap that companion out anytime you rest at the missile, which is like their version of the lantern or the bonfire.
That game's co-op, right?
Yeah. Huh?
That game's co-op, right? Because I remember hearing something about that, but unless people were mistaken the companion for thinking that it's a.
It might. There is an online component to the game. Like it, when you start off, it's just like any of the other ones were. It's online, offline.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that actually means co-op or if that means because I haven't seen like messages in.
Because
the
I'm
world.
thinking it would just replace that AI companion with the other player.
That would make sense. That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, the right now I've got the girl who you see on the cover with like the Russian hat. Mia is her name. So she's running around with me, but any of the characters you can slowly like unlock a whole army of people to join you.
There is co-op. It is very similar to like Bloodborne or Dark Souls.
So you like an
item and you summon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And I think there you can change your network settings to make sure it's like a friend or something like that.
That makes sense. I wonder if that's what the blood party thing is like the invasion thing. Because it's not like that though. It's still enemies that you would otherwise find in the world, but they're just uber fucking hard. There's one now that if I ever walk into this one area of the map that I'm in, they just start coming, and I wipe them all out, and they just keep spawning new ones. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if they're just supposed to keep hitting you with whatever. But yeah, it's really cool. I think the map system works really well, which is something like that I missed in Bloodborne. Like not miss, right? But you kind of get to know it in Bloodborne. But this, like, not everything is like super connected. It kind of is, but it isn't. Like some of it, you're like teleporting to new areas and things like that. But
yeah, I mean, I got to experience that a little bit of Star Wars, right? I mean,
yeah,
shortcut system. I do like a map. Like a better word. I like a map that structure that does that.
Yeah,
it's like just kind of go wherever because there's no fast traveling in Star Wars.
Oh, that sucks.
Like I mean, I guess you can use the lamp, but yeah, Star Wars doesn't have it. Now, of course, when you go to your ship, you can find different planets.
Yeah,
but you start at a starting point. You must go to where you want to go.
This has that. You can jump between missile to missile if you want to, which is neat. But yeah, I mean, you're upgrading weapons, you're upgrading armor. You can buy new armor, buy new equipment. All that stuff is in there.
Cool.
It's a fun game. It's been a nice I haven't played enough of it this week. I played a lot of it the week before Christmas. Once the Christmas sale happened, I bought it. I just spent all last weekend playing it. I think mostly.
Where you got it at?
PlayStation. Yeah, it was. It's on sale on everything, but I've been trying to play more on my PlayStation lately because I feel like Game Pass has me set on Xbox. I don't need to buy anything on Xbox.
Yeah, no, I haven't bought a game on Xbox.
I want to, but I'm I
don't need to.
Yeah, I'm I got all that shit on Game Pass. You know what I mean? So then I'm buying my things on PlayStation instead. But yeah, it's been fun for sure. Matt, what do you got next up?
I think the last couple years here, on Christmas Eve, especially at night, because I don't really do anything besides wrap gifts. Me and my parents and my sister will either get carry out or make something to eat. We'll watch Christmas Vacation, but then we're all they're all tired by 7 or 8 because we all work usually. So at that point, I was kind of fuck off and do whatever. And the last couple years, I feel like I've gotten into something weird and just kind of played until I've fallen asleep. 2 years, I think it was 2 years ago, I started playing Portal 2 randomly and just played until I was all right, I've had enough. I should go to bed. This year, I've had the BioShock trilogy just staring at me in the face. So I said, let's go back to Rapture for a night.
You returned to Rapture.
I returned to Rapture. Man, that's the first time I ever played it with mouse and keyboard. Ooh, woof.
Wolf bad?
No, I like it. I think that plays so much better. And just the brief hour and a half I played of BioShock makes me want to replay Infinite so much more because Infinite's hook system sucked with the controller.
Yeah. And
I want to go back now with a mouse. Real bad.
You've got that all on PC.
Yeah,
now, right?
yeah. So yeah, I played a little bit of Rapture. I didn't get terribly far. I saw Tannenbaum and her yelling at you about harming the little sisters, and then Atlas is hey, you need the atom,
right?
And I got to the first Big Daddy encounter, and I was oh, this is gonna be a lot. This is where I stopped. But no, dude, that game, I forget how scary and horrifying that game is when it first starts with the splicer at the elevator door. It's ripping that dude's
weird
throat.
lighting and flickering and shadows.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of helpless with a wrench at first, and then you get lightning, and then kind of things start to change there. But then you have to be careful with the amount of atom or
right.
Is it atom? Is that currency? I forget. It's the hypnostims. I forget what that
plasma.
Yeah.
Yeah, plasmid.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with how much you're using that.
No, it's Eve. Eve is the currency that fuels the plasmids.
Yes.
That's what
yes.
it is. Yeah. You get it, Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm. Clever.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There's a lot there. You start to get the different powers. I got telekinesis. I got fire. And then
telekinesis is good. You get the bees.
I didn't get that far. I was getting there. It's just I forget how well the world design is to let you can go into any of these encounters. The first kind of boss character you face is that surgeon, the plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
And when you go into that room, I'm so used to thinking guns first, just because Call of Duty, just those types of games that you just play. But after I defeated him using lightning and my weapons, I realized oh wait, there's the explosive barrels for telekinesis. Mm-hmm. Oh, if I ran down here's the fucking oil spilled all over the floor for me to light him on fire.
Yeah, as soon as you said surgeon, I was oh yeah, I burned him to death.
Yeah, and it's there's just so many ways to approach these encounters that is so unique. Because of the age of that game, it runs
super well.
120 frames clean.
That's kind of cool.
Pumping at high. Which
Are you playing the remastered versions?
I'm playing the remastered. I was looking at the differences. There's not really much. Remastered kind of ups the things, and the diehards of the game weren't really complaining too much about the remaster.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Daddy's pixels fucking off by
yeah.
Those fucking neck beards. But no, what I remember still looks good. It still looks like it's from that time, but still looks good. I don't know. I feel like that art style they had still holds up.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
No, I get it,
Yeah,
because sometimes those remasters can fuck up a game.
Though it's hard to not. It's hard to hear Bioshock and not hear it's the darkest of value.
Oh, dude, you hear that? It's like running around. It's so good.
Fucking Pauly Shore just screaming in my head.
Also, the hacking system was made for mouse and keyboard. Well, maybe more so mouse, because you just start right away with like, click, 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 click.
Yeah.
All right, where are my pipes? All right, I need this, I need this, I need this. And
Because that didn't come out on PC or like at first, did it?
I thought it did. I thought it was like,
I thought it was just 360 and PS3.
oh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I feel like
really?
even PS3 was delayed. I don't know.
Well, that came out around that time where like PS3 games like fucking blew multi-platform.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it
That
came out
game's-
on Xbox August 2007, PlayStation 3 October 2008.
Time exclusivity.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Windows and 360
Okay.
first release.
Oh, was it games for Windows Live or something?
Probably.
Oh no, it couldn't have been that because I can still. So I bought the bundle in Steam and it included all of. I didn't buy the Return to Rapture set. They did one of those things where it's like, hey, like get the whole BioShock, all the games you have on Steam for like this super discounted price, and then it was a Steam sale. I think it was the fall one, and I got it all for like $13. But it was like one remaster, two remaster, and then Infinite on its own because they didn't remaster Infinite.
Right. That makes sense.
And then I think I got all the DLCs with them, so I got Minerva's Den for 2, which is kind of why I want to do this again. I never played Minerva's Den, and everyone talks about that being like one of the godsends
Yeah,
of
me
DLCs
neither.
that I never played, and I would really need to replay 2 because that's the one I've played the least.
I like 2 a lot.
I like 2 as just I've kind of Infinite is the last one to come out, and everyone talks about that, and I feel like I've revisited that not far into the game, but enough to remember the beats. 1, of course, is the goddamn classic. I think I've come close to beating that game 3 times. I beat it once, but then I don't know. The end of that game, the pacing just fucking takes me out of it every single time. Like you hear about Andrew Ryan, you go to the big build, and then all of a sudden it's a fetch quest to become a big daddy, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But I think I want to keep going because I want to get through 2. I want to play Minerva's Den. And then I beat the first part of the Infinite DLC. I never beat the second part. I think I saw the end. I know
What was
happened.
the first one? Was the first one
The first one was like Booker, I think. And then the second part.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it. That was fucking cool.
Yeah. I played some of the second part. I think I just got stuck on a part, and I was because when you play as that certain
Well, by the
character,
time
you're
that shit
weak.
came out, PS4 was out, and it was just weird still going back to PS3. It was like, what are you doing?
I see. Well, I didn't get a PS4 launch day, so I was able to like.
I mean, I still been plugged in, but it was just like,
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
moving
why?
forward. What are you doing?
It's the same thing with like South Park came out around that time. Stick of Truth, right?
Yeah, I feel like South Park. Yeah, it was that. Yeah, it was in the spring. Yeah, it was weird.
But no, it was cool to be back in that. And then just real quick, I had a little pinball revolution.
Yeah,
Here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, I know, like I missed the ball with like the Bally. Is it the Bally's tables?
Yeah,
or
the Bally and
pinball?
Williams. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't dived into that kind of pinball yet, but dude, I've been playing a lot of Demon's Tilt,
yeah, dude.
and that game is fucking cool as all
love
hell.
that
Sometimes
game.
when I sign on, I see that you're playing it.
Dude, I just go in, I play for like a half an hour, play a couple games.
Yep.
I'm trying like my absolute damnedest to get like the 1 billion point achievement, and I think once I get that, I'll be like happy and get out.
In a single game, 1 billion.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can get the on a good
Yeah.
run, I can get to 400 million.
oh man.
A lot of my, I would say the top half of my top scores locally are above 100 million now.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling pretty good. I average like 60 million or like 40.
I've got to
million.
get better at that game. Like, I still don't understand the hook of it.
This is what's happened. I've started to like read bullshit
Yeah.
to learn the table.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to tilt on a regular basis.
We're gonna get T-shirts and go to Crabtown, and we're gonna
dude.
beat those up.
Sign me up.
But then this pinball revolution I'm having with Demon's Tale, I was like, I want to play some other shit. So I'm like thinking about getting the pinball arcade, just get some of the tables.
Yeah, you
I
should.
mean, I know like they're not authentic things, but the
No,
ones
they still are.
No. The other game.
Oh, you're talking about the Zen.
Yeah, the Zen
Yeah.
pinball. I know they're not authentic tables or whatever, but like I remember
They're still fun.
there was like a Star Wars one on PS3 that I had a demo of or something. I got for free.
You got it for Plus because I was going through my Vita download list last night and I had it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so I remember playing around with that a little bit, and then yeah, but then I was like, the other day I was sitting on my couch and I was like, what can I play? What can I play? Pin out. Sorry. That was the one. It's the one where you keep working up the table.
That one.
Yeah, so I've been fucking around with that whenever I got a spare moment on my phone.
I really like the.
Was I playing out on my phone?
I think so.
I think that's already.
Everything was all Tron looking.
Yeah.
The music's like fucking.
Oh my
very...
god! Wow.
I think.
Memories.
I think pinball. The Marvel pinball stuff was really. I really like the Spider-Man table. If you can get that on Zen somewhere, pinball is really good on Vita, but also Switch too. Now that you're back on your Switch kick.
Mm-hmm.
The cool thing, if you download Pinball Arcade on Switch, you can throw those Joy-Cons away and just turn the Switch on its side.
And just like hit the bottom.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Feels good.
Got to get that grip clip or whatever. It's
Flip grip?
Flip grip.
Yeah, that's good too.
I mean, that would be the only thing, but I mean, if I can just use the touchpad, like that's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, I've done that for sure.
But yeah, you went through what, like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, I get those heavy spurts of it. Demon's Tilt definitely brought it back. I almost bought Demon's Tilt on Switch just to have it there also. I was like,
because I kind of saw it last night. I was like, I fucking want to play him. I'm not doing my Xbox.
I know.
I've been playing a lot of Xbox. There is I don't know if it bugged out or if their support's different, but on PC I can't get my scores online.
Huh? Weird.
I like the first time I launched it, like the Xbox like sign-in thing popped up on PC, but then the game launched before I could type in everything. So I don't know if it bugged out. I've never gotten it to re-prompt me for it.
Huh.
So, like,
weird.
I kind of would like to play on PC, but I also don't mind playing on my Xbox as just because. Because I can see like your online. I can't see them. I think on PC like your scores, but I can see like, your scores or anyone else.
Yeah.
That's played it. So, pinball.
Demon's Tilt rules, pinball rules.
Pin out rules.
Yeah, I never got into that one. I know you guys were really big into it, but
that's for anyone who's never heard of pin out. It's like it's a pinball game, but you kind of want to work your way up the board, and you have a time limit. But as you keep working your way up the board, you can like go through these ramps that give you specific time bonuses. You land on these little spots like traditional pinball machines where you have these little mini games. You use the flippers to like move a character or something like that to get extra time.
Play
depending on your
asteroids
score.
or something.
Yeah, the little car that travels. You have to pick a lane.
That's right.
That stuff. It's challenging too. It's not like something that you're going to beat. You're going to have to kind of master that game to beat it. I remember beating it the first kind of wave of me playing it, but now I'm going back to it. I haven't really come close again, so I'm like remastering.
I forgot how far I got, but yeah, the time thing was starting to stress me out because I was putting myself in a position where it was like, I can't get enough time just to get through this thing. And I was like,
like just this morning I was playing it, and I got the achievement for the first time, evidently, that I had over 200 seconds at one point because I guess I collected it and had power-ups enough. Because sometimes one of the power-ups is like you can double the amount of time you earn if you get the little little points.
Yeah.
So I guess I timed it all perfectly to get over like 200, but I still didn't get past like World 5 or like Zone 5, whatever you want to call it.
I think the soundtracks are on streaming music services too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that soundtrack alone is worth playing in my opinion.
Mark, what else did you get into?
So I guess in similar vein of Demon's Tilt, so going from Travis Strikes Again or whatever. Going down this Suda pipeline here, because I just want to soak that all up. I guess I went into Shadows of the Damned.
That's the aforementioned EA game that he had so much trouble getting out. But
but this has like I called it a triple threat before because not only do you have Suda in on it, you have Shinji Mikami in on it of Resident Evil and The Evil Within, and then so they were like producing this together, and then you have for music Akira Yamaoka. I'm probably botching that. He did the music for Silent Hill.
Yeah.
So he's
or what little music there was of it.
I mean,
ominous tones. For
But yeah,
yeah, but like, the music shines in this one for sure. It's just a wacky ass, just your dude going to hell to save your girlfriend, and you're just fighting demons along the way. But it's not a shooting game without having something wacky with it. So you have this little demon. He's like a skull. His name is Johnson, and he turns into all your weapons. He's talking. He's witty, whatever. All right, so the game just starts off like it's not really. It's like kind of a tutorial, but not handholdy in a way. You just kind of know what to do immediately. Mm-hmm. You're going into your condo or whatever because you hear screaming and getting attacked. So all these demons jumping through the windows. That's when they're telling you, hey, left trigger, right trigger, blah blah blah.
Okay, yeah,
shooting. And every time you get a headshot, it like the camera follows the bullet and does like this close zoom and like going through their head, and you just hear. Your guy's name is Garcia Hotspur. He's all covered in like satanic tattoos, and then he has a purple leather jacket that has similar like bejewelings on the back.
Dope.
Leather pants, hot boots with spurs on them.
Yeah.
He has this big scar going over his eye and then across his nose to the other eye. And I think that's another suit a touch. I think like all of his characters have some type of scar over one of their eyes. Travis has one. Oh, yeah. I think the main dude in Killer's Dead has one. Yeah. So I thought it was a nice little touch. So yeah, there's this big demon dude. He's mad that you like killed some of his like best demons or something like that. He has like 6 pairs of eyes for some reason. This big old trench coat. Takes your girl, and so you have to go through hell pretty much to get her back. And that's when you meet Johnson. And so between him being a gun, he's your torch.
Roger.
Yeah. And like so you're going. And the whole thing is like very, basically linear. So I think it's 5 chapters. Each have their own like 5 to 6 acts within them. And you're going through. You might solve little puzzles here and there. You might get stopped in a room, fight enemies, get a key to a door, or whatever. Keep going. And and there's like the little boss fights in between, and every time you do this, you get a blue gem. The blue gem, Johnson wants you to put it on him, so he's like covered in all these gems, and your weapons get upgraded this way. So your main gun, it's like a pistol form. It's called a boner. Because its ammunition is bones.
Sure.
And.
And I'm buying it. I don't know about you, Joe.
Oh, it sounds like this game's got fan service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. It totally does. No, and then like the machine gun equivalent is, I think it's first called the teether, because he uses teeth as ammunition.
Yeah. And
then the shotgun equivalent is called, I think it was called the concussion or something like that. Mm-hmm. It uses skulls. And then those get all upgraded over time. Now I have like the shotgun has like this weird barrel around it where if you charge it up, 4 skulls will appear, and you can have like shoot like a I don't know what the term for 5 is. 5 shots at once.
It's like Quinn.
Yeah, like a quintuplet shot or something like that. Shoot them all at once, but if holding even further, it's one giant skull, and you kind of arch it like a grenade, and it rolls and explodes. Now the machine gun has been called the Dentist at this point, and it has just a bunch of extra barrels tied to that one, and it can home its bullets on people if you aim at them long enough. And then the boner became hot boner or something like that. I don't know, but there was a section in the game. This is probably like the most fan servicey part of the game because I guess this deals with the whole lust part. So this whole time you're chasing your girlfriend, right? But you keep running into traps and illusions of her, where you keep thinking it's her, but it's obviously not. And sometimes, like, a weird big demon dude will just, like, burst out of the body, and it's like, why did I fall for this? Or, like, a zombified version of her will be chasing you, so you're in chasing scenes, and you have to run away from her, because she'll just, like, wrap her legs around you, just give you a little kiss on the lips, and you just die like a cartoon. Just fall flat with the torch straight up like a flower.
That's pretty cool.
But there's this one part... I think I sent you a photo, like a screenshot, where it was this billboard, And it was like you want a bigger boner, like call this number, like go into here.
Oh yeah, it's got my call.
It shows a picture of like this like photorealistic woman with a gas mask, and like where her butt is this black hole that you jump into. So she's on all fours or whatever, and like so you dive into that like a cartoon, and you get into this neon lit city. It's nothing but just like sex signs everywhere. And you have to call this number. It's like a sex hotline number. You go to this payphone and call it. But it's like an old school like 20s phone where it's like, you know, you talk into one little cup and listen to the other, whatever. And like Johnson's like let me hear. And like Johnson's getting like excited beyond belief, and he grows into this long ass like, you know,
boner.
Yeah. And so what you have to do at this point.
So now he's a Long Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay. Got
Long John Silver.
So
down on the
phone. And the way you hold it at crotch level.
Really, you don't say.
And you're kind of stuck in this position, so you have to use the bumpers to switch between sections of the city because each street, this giant is coming at you, and you have to like shoot him right in the face. It's like a weird light. You have to shoot that light, and it'll just instantly kill him. So headshot. So you're just going around, and every time you shoot him, you just hear Garcia just going, "Kiss my big boner!" Like every time.
There you
like,
go. There's the pseudo we know.
Shooting. Yeah, he keeps saying that. Keeps saying big boner. I was like, great. I had to do this a couple times. And then in between these going to these cities, you go through this little like. There's these parts of the game where darkness will take over and it drains your health, and usually you have to like. All your guns have a secondary fire that is basically like. It's a light source. It doesn't really do damage, but it can stun enemies. It can light torches, whatever. There's usually a goat head somewhere, and you have to shoot that with the flare, and it will turn all the darkness back to regular, whatever. It'll turn off the darkness. Yeah. But there's times where you just have to go through it.
Mark,
just to
turn off the dark, please.
Sorry, you're right. Shit. But between cities, sometimes you have to go through these dark portals. It's just a road. You have to take the damage, but you get little recoveries along the way to keep it going. Huh. They're like little hearts or whatever. And as I'm going through these, there are these giant projections of your girlfriend, Paula is her name, and she's just, you know, topless. She's dancing, she's touching herself, she's moaning. I'm like, you have to walk on top of her to get to the next part. So like you can imagine where you're walking. They don't hide anything. I was like, wow.
What year did this come out? EA published this?
2011.
Probably about the same time Dante's Inferno was happening, right? EA made some shit.
I mean, yeah. It was interesting.
Huh.
What I said to you, I was like, that's just scratching the surface, man.
Yeah, you were banging aliens in Mass Effect at that time.
Yeah.
But like aside from that, like funny part, like this is where I was like, all right, this is Suda at most probably right here.
Yeah.
It was hard to forget. I'm at the very end of this game. Like I'm at the final chapter, but I didn't beat it. Mm-hmm. But I know I'm right there, and it's starting to like overstay its welcome because like you get used to you do the same things throughout the whole entirety of this game. You know, room to room fight stuff. There was a nice Evil Dead nod. Huh. It was actually the chapter was called like. It was a nod to that too. I forget the name of it right now.
The Book of Shadows.
It was like it was like the evil and the dead or something. And like you go into this cabin, you know, there's a demon underneath the floorboards, like laughing at you, and you get trapped in there. Demons are bursting through all the windows. There's a first person camera of demon cool. like coming to the door, and then once you beat them all, it like backs away. You find a book, you can read it, and all that.
That's pretty cool. So
like that was cool. Yeah, just like learning different enemy types, and there's some puzzles involved. You'll kind of see it in No More Heroes, like when Travis Strikes Again. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, oh, this is what they were referencing.
Yeah.
Cool. Got it. Yeah, Garcia, just wacky lines. The storybook thing, usually Johnson is reading the book, and it's like a children's book, but it's like morbid tales or like really messed up. And you have to keep turning the pages. One time Garcia was reading, and they like, you can tell he's illiterate. He was, like, taking his time. He couldn't pronounce certain words. Oh. I was like, wow, they really went, like... It's just details you just wouldn't expect to have. So I guess by the end, I'll probably either get Paula or kill Paula, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's... The music in that game, though, it feels weird. It feels like it doesn't belong. Just how wacky this game is. Like, the music's so, like... It could be somber. It could be, like, chill. I like these cool little beats with it. It's, like, very calm. but it can get heavy and crazy too, and then get really wacky. Like there's this, I don't understand this. There's like this anglerfish. He has a very long antenna. There's a light at the top of it, but he's not in the water. He's on the land.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of moves around like a slug.
All right.
He has like a slug body. You have to hit it with the torch because you can do melee with the torch, like back people away and kill him with that too. But you whack that, and he's your light source in all this dark area, so you have to follow him because the demons don't like the light. And as this is happening, the song for it, it's like some weird. You just hear like bongos and some like weird like shaman dude like chanting or like I don't know what it is. It's not creepy. It's just really like wacky. I don't know how to describe it. It's just out of left field.
I want to play this.
You should just listen to the soundtrack. But
Where are you playing this at?
So I got it off of Xbox. I went to the Microsoft store and bought it. It was $20. I probably could have gotten cheaper if I got it from eBay or something, but whatever.
Yeah,
I just wanted to get it.
Feed Andrew Wilson, you know.
But all digital like backwards compatibility, that kind of that's the
yeah. I mean, there were some bugs here and there, some whatever, but the part that I'm like not too fond of, there's some levels that are like everything looks like it's made out of paper and it's a 2D like shoot 'em up. So you're just like floating, you're just Garcia just flying, just like, and it has like old arcade sounds when you're firing your gun, you're just shooting everything to get through it. And I was like, it was cute once, cool, and then it did it like two or three more times, like yeah. But the levels in between, it wasn't too many. It was too short. I was like, all right, paper thing, boom, paper thing again. All right, like, and then the whole boss fight was that. I was like, this is
kind of like the Batmobile and Arkham. What was the last one?
Night.
Like that part felt like a game you would download when you pre-ordered this game to play in the meantime. Like it feels like a mobile game in a way. It's just very simple, very like Xbox Live Arcade.
That's why you would play in your Chrome window if you didn't have internet.
Kind of. It kind of had that, and it was just like, okay. This is the other part of Suda that I think is a theme throughout the games, where it's just like, it reminded me of the way I draw or the way I do projects with art. Like I start out so ambitious and I like it and it looks good, but then I can see the end approaching, so I kind of rush it. You know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just want to get it done. Like, it's so good, but like, I'm just right there. I can't help it.
I saw the ambition still of your art project earlier today. Don't you worry.
but you see the cracks in the wall. Like,
no, I see no cracks. I see a smiling man raining down upon me.
But, yeah, so like, I think and I noticed it in Travis Strikes Again, and I see it in this, and it's just like, I don't know how often that is a thing. I don't know. Maybe that was just crunch time. I don't know. I don't know if it was like a development issue, if that was meant to be in there or what. But yeah, just noticed a lot of that. But yeah, that's it plays like around that time, like RE5 and 6. It was over the shoulder aiming, but it feels more faster paced and a little more fluid. I think. I mean, I'm terrible with aiming with that kind of thing, just the field of view and whatnot. But yeah, that's a hell game. I think. I think if we were to design a game, this is probably what it would look like to some degree. Like, you would definitely love the imagery everywhere.
All right, I'm in.
There's a boss that just literally just pisses on a fountain.
Yeah, sorry, I'm down for some pissing.
The saving checkpoints are this little eyeball creature named One Eye Willie, and he takes a shit and leaves, and the shit's on fire. That's your checkpoints.
That checks out.
Yeah,
fan service,
man.
Fan service, pissing. I love it.
Damned service.
Well, I got one more.
Yeah, I have one more as well, but I don't have a good segue from that.
I think I ended up, thanks to the fantastic stat tracking of the Wii U, I was able to go back in time and verify that this happens to me post Game of the Year every year for the last 3 years, this including Metroid Prime Trilogy, dude. Fired up number 3. This I was like, I played 2 like over the summer, right? Nope. Fucking last January is when I played 2. And I was like, all right, well, the one before that, nope, the January before, like, just beat for beat. I'm fucking like clockwork. So I started Metroid Prime Trilogy, or Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. And I knew I never played 2. 1, I had played on GameCube after owning a Wii and borrowed Prime 1 from somebody and played it that way. But I bought 3 day one. me, 2 friends, we left school, went to GameStop at the mall, bought that. I had gone to Hot Topic and bought the Metroid Prime 3 Corruption shirt where it had that cover, right? Samus, like, back to back. I had that shirt. I fucking loved that shirt, and I loved that game. Fired this up. I don't remember playing this game at all. Like, it was so weird because I have a pretty good fucking memory for things.
That's happened to me before. I don't know what game, but it's just like, wow, I did play this?
I know I played it. Like, I remember playing, this is, like, how into this game I was. I remember the demo of it. You had to download the Metroid Prime 3 Corruption demo channel on Wii. Remember? You had to...
yeah, I remember all the channels on Wii.
And you had
I don't remember that channel, though.
It was a specific channel you had to download from the Wii shop, and then you could play the demo, and all I remember from that was, like, using the nunchuck to grapple beam and swing and shit like that. I remember that part of the demo, like being on some floating platform. But I fired this game up this week and just I don't remember any of what I just did. I got through the opening bit. I played through I played through like the opening bit where you have to do like, hey, there's 3 generators offline. You have to put these generators back online and then stop the whatever. Did all of that. I got the setup. There's Mecha Ridley or Meta Ridley. There's Dark Samus coming back. Like I got through the opening bit where they show you the big players for the game, and just I don't remember a fucking thing about. You get all these other bounty hunters that are not just Samus in this game. Whose names I don't remember. There's the purple lady and the big robot man and the what. Don't remember any of them. Wow. Like, none of this game seems familiar, which is cool though. I'm having fun.
It's a brand new experience. Some people wish they could. Do
Hopefully, this is the game for that. But
you raise my memory of Bloodborne, I would be happy.
That's true. Yeah, Code Vein. But yeah, it's got the Wii control thing, which I think works really well for Metroid. Not everything, like. The Galaxy games are great, but they didn't. I always wished that I had a more traditional controller for Mario Galaxy, like not the Wii remote. It still was fine, but like it just
but you still have the point, like all the star bits.
Some things translated, some things didn't. This, I feel like the Metroid games were made. The Prime games, like it felt at home on the Wii. So playing through this one again, you've got the point and aim. It's a little hard when you're on a couch and there's 2 dogs lumped on you, and you know what I mean? Like, I had to move the sensor bar.
Deja vu. This is the shit he said last January, too.
I know. It's the same exact feeling again, but it still feels really good in this one. This game added a bit more of, like, the motion things, because this one was actually designed for the Wii, where the other stuff was kind of tacked on later, but the stuff where it's like, oh, in order to open this door, you have to grab and pull and twist and push. And, like, doing those things, it's like picking up on some depth things, and, it's neat. I don't know. I'm excited for Metro. I'm hoping we get to see Prime 4 soon here. With a teaser. A teaser
again. Is that what we want?
No, like a gameplay. I think they'll show a thing at E3
more than a logo.
Least. Yeah, I think they'll have something to show this year. They started development a year ago almost. Or restarted development.
So Metroid's like your winter.
It feels right.
Post-Christmas game to play. I'm kind of in a similar boat, but not with games. Like usually, it's like I don't know if it happens in fall first or maybe it is winter. But I'm always in the mood to watch Lord of the Rings. Because like 1 year I got the extended edition of Fellowship. And I watched that endlessly.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, there's something about that.
Really? Fellowship of all
Fellowship was like the most fantasy out of all of them. The other ones were just a war that was like in 2 parts.
Yeah, I think I like the war part.
I know, I do like them, but there was just something about that one that felt like the most, like, I don't know, like an RPG game to me for some reason. That means all like D&D, basically, but...
Yeah. No, that was, but I think there's something about just, like, having that time free up again, you know what I mean? I mean, we don't have much of it this time, because it seems like the first quarter of 2020 is just stacked.
Soak it all in January and February, because once March comes, you got yourself a mudslide
because even like
games.
What the Fire Emblem Sharp or what the fuck Shin Megami Tensei
Sharp FE.
Yeah, that one. Thank you. Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE.
Yeah,
is coming out in a couple weeks. Remember the Wii U Fire Emblem Shin Megami Persona crossover thing?
Yeah,
they're coming back out on Switch. Game of the Year 2020, and. Yeah, but I'm like, here we go, right? Like I want to play that. I love Fire Emblem. Last year I got into I dipped my toes back into Persona a little bit and kind of fell off, but
I'll probably just jump right into this one.
I think that's what I'm doing. But even that, like that's like 2-3 weeks out. Like I don't have time to do anything. But I don't know. Metroid seems like
When
fun.
did you play Halo?
It was this time of year.
It's just sci-fi, first person.
Yeah, because it happened. Halo, I played through the first one right after Black Friday because that was when I got the thing, and then December we did Game of the Year stuff, and as soon as that wrapped up, I went right through 2 through 5, all between Christmas break through what do you call that? Like end of January, whatever year I got my Xbox. But yeah. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Well, so that one will keep going a little bit. I hope at least. Matt, what do you got one more you said?
Yeah, I got one more. It's not probably as excited as Metroid Prime 3. I got me Madden 20 for Christmas. Not
Nice.
2020. I think I really like a Madden game for the first time in a while. Like really like it and keep playing it. I think I've already put in like 10 hours into this game.
What was the last one you got into? Was like 16 or 17?
Maybe. What was the first year of that story mode? I got that one, but barely played it because I just played through the story mode, and that was about it.
Does it have that
18?
too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it have Sandra Bullock?
No.
Okay.
Good question.
I don't know. This game is so ridiculous. It could have Sandra Bullock at some point. I'll get there in a second. I think the base Madden game, I don't think nothing's terribly changed too much. Game's still run on Frostbite, which is shocking, but they've had a few years now with the Frostbite engine. I mean, it feels fine for a Madden game. I'm not like, I don't see like the weird animations. Like, after the play, you might see a dude clip into another dude, but that's not affecting my gameplay, which is, it's just a little realism thing. One of the things I really like, I'm from Baltimore. I'm a Ravens fan. So if you are a football fan, you know what Lamar Jackson is doing out there and the type of scheme we run with that run-pass option. It seems that this is the first year they've implemented those types of plays into Madden this year, which is quite nice. I'm not going to go into what that scheme looks like. If you know football, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's a cool, fun little mechanic. Just to switch up the offense. I really like running it online, whether it bites me in the ass running it or not. It's a fun thing to do. It's just I feel like Lamar Jackson when I play as the Ravens. It's kind of fun.
Well, it's cool they're reflecting reality into the game a little bit and not just sticking to what...
Keeping it fresh.
And they've had similar systems, plays, mechanics in their college football games because college offenses run these kinds of schemes a lot. It's just we haven't really seen the NFL run it until like the past 2 years. So it makes sense that, last year they probably couldn't patch it in. Just I'm sure that's a lot of work, because that's like that's a gameplay thing, not just like a play design. Right. And so I think it's really cool that they have that stuff in. And there's not like it's not like it's just like 4 plays. Like there is a number of plays you could customize and put into a playbook to just run that offense throughout. Two of the things I really love about this year's game, this new online mode called Superstar KO. It is an online game, but it's not like I just pick a team. You pick a team and you go. You pick these ridiculous base teams, and they range from anywhere from Lil Yachty to DJ Khaled to a wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns to John Madden. They each have
anyone weird? Like all of those people I don't care about, but I'm like... Can you do like Bruce Valanche's dream team or like the best of Gary Busey? Like is there anyone in there that you wouldn't expect?
DJ Khaled or Lil Yachty? I don't know.
I would expect. I don't know what a Lil Yachty is, but DJ Khaled, he puts his face in everything, so it doesn't surprise me.
I no, like
like if you told me like Penelope Cruz got in it, that's the shit I want, man.
There is, I think there's a female coach who is the defensive coordinator or at least a defensive coach on some team, and she has a spot as like she's like the defensive coach where like if you're just focused on defense.
Sandra Bullock.
It's not Sandra
Bullock. That's
what I'm
saying. Yeah, like
get
fucking goofy with it.
So there's 8 different infrastructures and each do different things. So like DJ Khaled's team, for instance, isn't really focused on offense. It's more on the defensive side, and it's just a blitz heavy playbook. And I'm just going to throw this out there. These playbooks, like your traditional like team playbooks when you play these games, is pretty massive. Like there's probably over 100 plays on each side. I don't think there's any more than like 30 plays per side. And some of them, like, depending on how focused you are on one side, it can vary. So, like, say, for instance, DJ Khaled's team, there's probably about 20-some defensive plays, most of them blitz plays. But then, like, on the offensive side, you may have, like, 12 plays because he's focused more on defense. And you kind of get that throughout in your infrastructure. So, like, the shotgun-heavy offenses. I really like the John Madden one. It's pretty unique. It's these old formations you just don't see in football anymore. And his focus is on that. It's called the fundamentals.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see that. And like Lil Yachty's team, that rapper, he just has like these random backyard plays that kind of brings in some of the new run pass option scheme plays. And then so you get these base teams, and then you go through and you kind of pick from like a selection of like 4 different people. Whether it's defense or it will tell you, all right, you're picking defense this time, or hey, you're picking offense this time, and you pick 3 of these. I think it mixes itself up, or it might depend on the infrastructure if you get 2 offensive or 2 defensive. But yeah, you just pick like a random superstar, and that they just get placed into your team. And so you go in with this base team and these 3 superstars, and you go against someone else online. And instead of just playing a game, you each have 1 drive, and you start on your own 25. And if you score a touchdown, great. If not, it's whatever. There's no kicking field goals, so even if you score a touchdown, you still have to go for a 2-point conversion.
The fun way to play football.
Yeah, whatever. There's so like you can play to the 4th down thing, right?
Yeah.
So you each have a drive, and say like the other dude scored a touchdown, but I scored a touchdown and then got the 2-point, like I win. And then the really cool thing is if you're tied at the end of the 2 possessions, it does this thing called tug of war, where someone will start the ball with a 50. And say they do like a run play and it gets them 10 yards. Well, then I get the ball back immediately, but will start at my own 40 to try to make up the ground. Sure. And as the plays kind of move along, the end zone don't become the end zones. They kind of expand. So the end zone might start from the 10-yard line to the back. And then eventually it will close. I think it gets as far as the 30. And then after 5 plays each, if it's like kind of just going back and forth, it's whoever has the ball like up the field the most.
How do they visually do that? Is it just with the layover?
It's
or
like a lime green layover.
All right.
But there is like a.
I would have fucking just used the fucking warp tool, stretch that shit, just to make the. You know what I mean? Like if you're already getting weird with it, get fucking weird.
And then the. There is an overhead though, so that way you can see like where your ball is at, where you got to go, where the end zones are, so that way like if you're not paying attention. I think it's a really cool thing. You're in and out of games because like your traditional online game can take about a half an hour to 45 minutes depending on what's going on. This is like I don't think I've had a game last longer than 15 minutes. There's this weird attitude about it, and it's not good, but it's fine. It's like you just keep seeing these cut twos when you're picking plays like. DJ Khaled on the sideline, like disappointed or excited you made a play when you pick his team.
Is it a 3D model of him?
Yeah, is it actual...
it's a 3D model of him.
Is it a good one?
It's fine, I guess.
All right.
But then, like, I don't know. Like,
another one.
When you win, it like the announcer the entire time was like, "Yeah, welcome to Superstar KO," and it's like it's cringy as fuck. And then when you win, like you just see your players and your coach on the stage like doing air guitar.
Sounds
moves.
like the best.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it seems like where I'd hang out the most.
And then like the stadium is just this giant like football shaped thing. It's fucking dumb with like I think it's a Gatorade logo in the background.
Sure, yeah.
It's
brought to you by Monster Energy Drink.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird. But I'm having, besides the whole attitude part of it, it's a lot of fun to play. It's like the aspect that you're in and out. And then if you win, like you keep going. So you'll get to pick off a superstar of their team or just from another mix of players. And you keep going until you essentially it's like 6 superstars for 6 superstars with the rest of the team around you. And then if you win that, you complete the ladder.
Okay.
And then you're in and out. I think it nets you some like ultimate team awards if you really want to. But I just like playing the mode because it's just fucking fun. And then there's the the story mode in this game. So they've moved away from the game show thing that they've done the last 2 years, and they're doing this newer thing called Face of the Franchise. Instead of you being as a set character, you get to create your own character.
Sick.
I have heard that this is fucking ridiculous writing, and you just kind of have to go in with some just serious expectations or not so serious expectations of this mode. So knowing that, I decided to make a character that keep in mind that you play as a quarterback in this mode.
Okay.
You're stuck to a quarterback. You can't pick anything else. So I made a character where I pretty much morphed his eyes so that way they always appear shut. I made his nose this fucking big-ass honker and his mouth as small as possible. And then there's 3 different voice choices. You know, there's like the African-American setting, the obvious African-American setting, the obvious Caucasian setting. And then there's this other one. It sounds like that character from Family Guy who's like in charge of the pharmacy. The red hair, he got that annoying ass voice.
Oh, it sounds like Kyle's cousin in South Park.
Got it.
Yeah, it's a kind of a slightly modified version of yeah. But it's very close to that. So of course I saw that or I heard that voice and I was like, bingo. So so it's very cutscene heavy and the cutscenes are fucking ridiculous. Premise is you start off in college. You're in the college football playoff, which is the real thing. You can tell it's very much sponsored by college football, and the NCAA has a major hand in the marketing with this. It's got all the licensing, so it feels like authentic. But like you were recruited by this school as their star quarterback, but then this other bigger star quarterback came to the same school, and the coach chose him over you. Well, now 4 years later, it's your senior year. The bigger star quarterback's now hurt, so you're playing like your first college football games in these playoffs. And it becomes like a big media frenzy. And there's even cut-tos. There's a show called Good Morning Football where it's like a talk show in the morning about football. Mm-hmm. And there's like actual like legit footage of the people that run the panel there like talking about your player.
That's
like,
cool.
So
that's cool they went and did that.
So like there's that. And then but all these like dumb like motivational things. And just to get your character like because he's so unknown because he's been on the bench, right? Like, there's the first thing is the security woman's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Like talking to all the star players, and then she's like, "Oh, wait, stop. Who are you?" And it's like, "Well, if you're a big fan of this team, and I'm the backup quarterback, I'm fucking traveling with the team. You should know at least who I am." It's like ridiculous things like that. And then I can't take it seriously when the coach is trying to give me a pep talk because you just see my character look with his eyes closed. And then the coach is like, just block out all the media hype. It's just you and the football. It's just bullshit. Yeah, whatever. And then you just hear my character in that voice go, "All right, coach." So there's that. It's fucking stupid. You walk out to the field and star quarterback Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs, the cover boy of this game, he just happens to be there. He's like, "Oh, hey, man, hit me up when you get to the NFL." It's so cringy. It's so bad. Your star wide receiver is just like, "Oh, yeah, what got us here was the other quarterback just throwing me the ball. Just make sure you're getting the ball into my hands, and I'll make all the plays happen." And then this same wide receiver, like in 2 scenes later, it gets all weird and somber because like there's this like cancer like Make-A-Wish kid that pops up, and like
wait, did they do that before?
Probably.
Pretty sure that was the whole thing with the game show before. Is they had like a.
Well, before it was taken, because remember 2 years ago, that's when they had the whole thing with the kneeling. So they took you to like one of those to visit like an army site overseas. I know they shoehorned that in.
I thought there was a cancer kid before.
It may have. I don't remember. It all blends together. But yeah, and it's like if you had to name a unicorn, pink or purple, what would you choose? And then you have to choose like pink, and then they both laugh at you like, "Oh, it's called the game. The game is like not to pick the thing, but to make up your own name. So mine would be Silver. The name of it's like it's fucking stupid." I'm sitting here, I feel terrible, but I'm laughing at this terminally ill cancer kid because the writing is so atrocious, and I can't take my quarterback seriously because he's not even looking at her. And he's like, "Oh, what do you mean?"
Oh no, God. All right, so I know Suda doesn't have the best relationship with EA, but the next one, they should bring him in. Can you imagine a Suda directed
Oh my God.
Madden
and
career
this is
mode?
I've only played one game in this mode. I think there's at least like 6 others they go through. Like I haven't even gotten to the draft or finished the playoff yet. ridiculous but hysterical. Like, I'm sitting there supposed to be like, I'm fucking, it's game time, right? I'm just sitting there fucking laughing at my dude and the terrible writing in this mode.
You gotta take a picture of it. I gotta see what he looks
I
like.
did. I took it. I didn't take it on my phone. I took it locally, but I'll send you all a picture of this fucking idiot. He's got like red.
I think you
He
can
has
do
black hair with a red beard, big ass honker of a nose. I'll try to take a video too of him talking.
Just
It's
looks like a
so-
Muppet.
Oh, and I named him, I think, The Demon, and his birthplace is from hell. Because you can write in all of it. So
That's
I was
pretty
like, all right,
good.
cool. Dude looks like a demon.
Man. Yeah, I want to see what he looks like.
But no, overall, I think Madden is like pretty solid for a football game. It's just like if you're buying it for that stupid ass mode, don't do that. There's other stuff that's more fun.
Well, it's always good the final year before the new consoles. The next year it'll be garbage again.
Oh yeah, of course. Can't wait to see NHL next year.
Oh God. Well, that's gonna bring us to the end of the show for the week. What are you guys planning on playing in the next week?
I'm gonna keep going with Madden. I think I need to see that mode through because it's a
Seems
comedy.
like it, yeah.
Talking about Goose Game being funny. I'm having my own fun with this.
I think I'm just gonna finish up Shadows of the Damned, and then maybe either jump into Evil Within.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't talk about it because you had talked about it earlier in the year, but I started to play Kiwami as well, and I dropped off hard for some reason. I need to get back into
Did you
that.
get? Where did you get?
I got. I found a little girl.
Hello, girl.
I'm back in the city.
This is after the funeral.
Now I don't remember. I'm out of prison.
Yes.
I'm like get myself back familiar. I don't know if I've. Oh yeah, it's after the funeral. Yeah.
Okay, I'm still stuck at the funeral. That boss fight.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have to beat that dude?
I just keep getting fucked up. So I think
all right,
so.
that dude has one hell of a health bar. I just assumed that you were supposed to lose, but I beat him somehow.
Oh, wait. Not that dude.
Yeah, but like the big sumo dude, right?
Yeah.
I beat him first try. I felt like I was cheesing it, and I struggled, but...
I see. I'm playing on stupid mode because I'm stupid.
Get off of stupid mode.
I don't
come
think
down
you
to
can
normal.
once you start the game. I think this is one of those where you're locked in when you're locked in.
Oh, well, you should maybe restart the game and go to normal and just try to skip some cutscenes because the beginning's very cutscene heavy. You would get back there in no time.
I know. But yeah, I think I'm...
I
want
that
to get
Yakuza game's cool as shit, though.
I know, man. It's really good.
I was texting you about that day. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I
I
really
just
like
fell
it.
off. I haven't played it since that day. I don't know what happened, so I gotta get back into that.
I might buy Noida on it's on Steam on early access. It's a roguelike, but every pixel is procedurally generated. So if you pick up a torch and you're holding a torch, every single little flame coming off of it is procedurally generated. And if you walk in front of an oil pile and you drop that torch, the way that it all combusts, it's all procedurally. It's really fucking cool.
Weird.
All right, No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it seems
This is per pixel instead of planets, you know?
But it seems really neat. It seems like a way to like fuck around and see what things, how things interact with one another. But yeah, I might do that. I don't know. I still, now that I've stepped into the world of Metroid Prime 3, I kind of want to see that one through, even though there's a lot of fucking scanning in this game. So I don't know. But yeah, that should be it. We will be back next week, and it is time.
Show of the year.
Fuck all this 2019 Game of the Year bullshit. It is time to predict 2020.
You mean make actual factual statements?
Yes, make factual
and then
statements
review what our factual statements from the year before.
Of course. So if you want to be a part of the fun and you listen to this far, of course you do want to be part of the fun. Podcast at thefreecheese.com. Hit us with 5 hot statements that are going to happen in 2020.
And
we'll read yours on the air.
You can just do 5 facts. You could do facts 1, A, B, and C. You know, the Matt style.
Yeah, go back and listen to last year's episode. You can hear all the dumb shit that Matt says. And then, or there's a, if you just search predictions on the website, you'll see there's like a post of everything from before. But yeah, podcast at thefreecheese.com. Of course, you can always ask us anything there, and we will gladly answer it And I think that's it. Follow us on Twitter. The Free Cheese is at SomeFreeCheese. Mark is at Aug_Mental. Matt is at MattyIce131. I am at The Free Cheese. Go to thefreecheese.com. Our personal top 10 lists are up. The all 5 days of Game of the Year stuff is up. If you missed any of that, there's the podcast you can listen to. There's every article has little write-ups about each thing and the winners of all the awards and all that fun stuff. I think that's everything, right?
Sounds like it.
I even slipped in some fucking cool albums I liked from this year. And
Yeah, we have some guests.
we got a guest
top games.
article, Top Games of the Year, slipped in there too. So check that out. Yes. That's it. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, listener, for listening. We'll be back in another week with another episode.